All right, it's time to go live. What's up, guys? How's it going? Happy Friday. We're live again for the morning stream. Hey, hey. How's it going, guys? We've got Gabriel. How's it going, Gabriel? All right, so we are setting this up. Let's see, we're going to close this. We don't need this anymore. It's Friday morning stream, Friday morning cards. Hot breaks, fresh boosties, and free ones. All right, we get some free ones for you guys. We're almost ready to start rotating into the nines box. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. We'll go ahead and ping the Discord. We got to pick a new giveaway. We had one that went finished just earlier last night. So we got to pick a new one. We're going live for Friday morning. Very good. All right. Very good. Okay. Looks like I bought some stuff off of eBay. What did I buy? Scooby-Doo. I love this song. This song is cool, man. I did buy some stuff off of eBay. Some slabs, but they're secret. I can't tell you what they are. They're real nice, though. We got some slabs coming, guys. Let's see. Yeah, it's a cool looking card, man. How's this one look? It looks cool. I feel like it's a card that's undervalued. All right, so let's see. I got some messages. What are these messages? Oh my gosh, dude. All right, let me hit send on that. So I just messaged that guy who has not refunded me for the missing OP14. Luckily, we should be able to get our money back. It's just a matter of time. But boy, I'd prefer to have that money back sooner than later. Dude, what a dummy, dude. There we are. All right. Keeps my money and the product. It's crazy out there, guys. You got to have a lot of cash to run a rip and ship because things go wrong all the time. You just got money laying around so that you can absorb the problem. All right, I'm still in a pissing contest with this guy on Instagram. Are you guys following that pissing contest? I guess it's with the guy named Meat Pokemon. Man, he's such a jerk, dude. All right, I don't know. I probably shouldn't be wasting my time on that. I mean, it's like I know I shouldn't be wasting my time on that, but I do enjoy a little bit of a pissing contest myself. I don't know about you guys. How's crypto doing? How's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin back up to 69. That's cool. All right, all right. How's my vault doing? How many cards do I got in my vault? Do I got any new cards in there? No, it's the same cards. I'm pretty happy with the PSA vault overall. I'm glad I'm able to send my duplicates off to the PSA vault. Unfortunately, that's going to make taking pictures less impressive because I won't be able to show off like 6 Dark Dragonites anymore. They'll be in the vault. So, but, you know, we had fun while we had fun. I can't stop twerking since the halftime show. Oh, my God, Mike's side. Let me go ahead and grab this. There we go. We're going to click on this. Oh, wait a second. We don't want this. We want the... We got this. I was doing some drawing last night. I drew some goofy cards. I showed them off in Discord. You know, I can't really decide what my drawing style is. I think that that's really an interesting problem to have. There we are. First of all, my drawing style is somebody who never draws, so I don't have that much talent at it. But, you know, I've realized at some point, what am I going for? Like realism? Is the card meant to be cute? Is it meant to be plain and simple? It's an interesting, like you actually have to decide what you're trying to convey. And I didn't really have any plans or anything, so it's kind of a funny thing to work on. It is. Maybe that's what Quip goes through when she's trying to draw a card. I think she just tries to make it look nice. All right, here we go. We're going to pop out the chat. Oh, man, this room's already getting warm, man. Let's see what the weather is today. Weather. It is. Oh, weather where I live, duh. You want to see Dallas weather? Ooh, it's getting all the way up to 65 degrees today. That's hot. That's kind of warm. So let me open my door. I'm gonna let some cold air in. That's how I'm gonna counter the heat. This room gets a lot of sunlight. Oh my God, it's perfect outside. It's perfect. How can it be so nice? All right, guys, I'm going to our outside setup. We're doing an outside stream. That'd be nice. And get some sunlight. We got Astral Radiance in English? I don't think I have Astral Radiance on the menu, no. Mister needs to do a self-portrait Diglett. I did like a size comparison Diglett card. I thought that was pretty funny, but I don't know. I slept on it and I said, you know, it's like adult jokes or almost political takes. You know, I was like, what are we going for? You know, when it comes to a drawing, I don't know. That Diglett he posted last night could be considered a self-portrait. Yeah. All right, here we go. Very nice. Perhaps. Mayhaps. Oh. Very good. Oh, it's just the booster. What's up, Choppa Bappa? Let's see. I'm really sorry to bring this here, but I have solid lesion on my kidney, and I'm waiting to hear if it's cancerous or not. Please pray for me. Ooh. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that your diagnosis is not too bad. You know, when you're told something like that, it gives you extreme anxiety. And so I hope that you rest, probably distract yourself with some video games, hang out with somebody you trust, and, you know, the doctor might deliver some tough news, or maybe he'll deliver some not so tough news. You don't know, but it's pretty easy to jump to the worst conclusion. I bet whatever the doctor tells you, I don't know how old you are. If you're younger, I bet if the doctor comes out, he's going to tell you that whatever it is, it's totally reversible, okay? Let's see. If you're 65 or older, maybe not. The older you get, the closer you get to the end, you know what I'm saying? And it comes for us all. It's a bit of an existential crisis, isn't it? So, but if you're still relatively young, and the doctor comes out and says you got some problems with your kidney or something, you might be able to reverse that, okay? Probably nothing. It's very, especially if you have a strong imagination, it's very easy to over-worry, and the over-worrying doesn't heal anything. So you just relax, man. And whatever the doctor tells you to do, you just go do it, okay? All right. That's a good reminder. I'm 36 years old, and I'm so scared. I'm so worried. Yeah, I totally feel you, man. No, I mean, I get it. Again, like when your doctor tells you something could be wrong with you, your mind races to the obvious most worst case scenarios. Like, yeah, you have a cancer actually. But so you told me you're 36. You're actually really young. So the odds of cancer at 36 are very low. And you most likely don't have it. What you have to understand is there's a whole lot of different health problems that you can have that maybe make you think of cancer. So I would probably consider the actual signs of cancer. Like, for example, if you're not losing weight unintentionally, you very likely don't have cancer. Cancer will cause you to unintentionally lose weight. Another sign of cancer, they do a blood test and like your blood cells are wrong. And so if they didn't tell you you have wrong blood cells, you very likely don't have that. There's so many different problems you can actually have with your kidneys that can make you think, oh no, it's cancer, but it's actually just you needing to take better care of your kidneys. Or maybe your kidneys are getting older because we're heading toward 40, bro. 40. So you might need to have a lifestyle change, which a lot of us probably need that. Like when I was younger, I could chug like energy drinks and eat a box of Oreos. I don't do that anymore. I couldn't get away with it. I'd probably die. So he's probably going to tell you to do a lifestyle change, and I bet you don't have cancer, but you won't feel happy, you won't feel comfortable and relaxed until the doctor tells you, okay? So just do whatever the doctor says. You very, very, very likely do not have cancer. It's probably just, again, like declining health because you're getting old, bro. Nathan Gordon says, payment on my Charizard. You got it. How many spots are left in the Ancient Origins? All right, so Nathan Gordon. Yeah, your body changes, by the way, guys. When you hit your 30s and you start getting older, like your body changes. You can feel it. And it can even cause you to panic if you're not used to that. So let's go over here. Let's see. Boop. Your body goes through a lot of changes. Your whole body, your heart, your lungs, your eyes, your ears, your stomach, your intestines, your kidneys, your pancreas, all the parts. So you got a lot of organs, and you actually have to take care of every individual organ. They all do an important job. That's Nathan Gordon. Thank you so much. Thanks, mister. I've been trying to eat healthier and exercise more. Thank you for your kind words. It's been tough to not cry every day just thinking about this. Yeah, so you're having acute anxiety waiting to find out if you're like dying from cancer. I'm telling you, dude, only 35, your odds of cancer are like less than 1%. So your odds of cancer are like non-existent at that age. Now, your odds that you have a different kidney problem could be very high. So you could have like, kidneys that are straining from high blood pressure or something like that. And so that's pretty easy. You just got to get on a food meal plan and lose weight, and your kidneys will be brand new. Not brand new, but it'll just instantly fix it. So you're so young, your body's throwing you warning signs of one of the organs having to strain probably. That's the most likely scenario right now, is that your body's warning you that, hey man, maybe slow down with the salt or whatever it is. But cancer, almost certainly not. The odds of that are so low. It's not impossible, but it's like, now if you were like 50 or 60, which is still 30 years away for you, now you have a pretty decent chance for cancer. And even then, it's still low. But that's what our brains go to. It goes straight to cancer. Here's Miss Alexandra. I do the same thing. Anytime I have like a heart palpitation, I'm like, this is it. This is the heart attack. All right. But yeah, you most likely just need to... There's a couple things that are real bad for your kidneys, and it's like drinking the wrong stuff, eating too much salt, having too high of blood pressure. All those things are bad. So you most likely just have to work on that. Okay, Alexandra says, Weiss EK, 12 packs, a full box. Sweet. All right, a whole box in EK. And then the Shift Tree Tag 10. Oh, that's a cool one. And can you pre-grade my Sandstorm cards? All right, let's get that working on. Let's get that done for you. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear you're going through that. I've had health scares before. And you know what's crazy? Sometimes the anxiety from the health scare is worse than whatever you've got going on. Here's Shiftery. Look at that. So the anxiety, if you're an imaginative person, if you're a worst case scenario kind of person, I'm a worst case scenario kind of person. And I was having a lot of heart palpitations in my senior year at college, which when I look back on that, that was like 8 years ago now. It's been a long time. I was having a whole bunch of heart palpitations, and I was skinnier then than I am now. But I thought I was having like some kind of heart problem. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. It turned out I was dealing with lack of sleep, overworking. I was working like a 12-hour a day job because I was working overtime for tech systems to earn us money because we had no money. And then I was doing all my school on top of that. And I was having like an anxiety crash over whether I had heart problems. And so, it was like a self-confirming loop. I would get nervous that something was wrong with my heart, and then my heart would have a heart palpitation, and then I'd get more nervous, and then I'd have another heart palpitation. So a doctor had to tell me that your body is capable of doing that, of sort of like tricking you into being worried that something's wrong. And then that area of your body, you become like more aware of it. And so you're like hyper monitoring it or something. So I had that happen to me, and it taught me a lot, and I try not to do that kind of stuff anymore. But it's like anytime something in your body changes, your first thought is, it's got to be cancer. But it's probably not, dude. All right, so, yeah, and what you don't want to do, by the way, there's a bunch, they might offer you a whole bunch of scans and stuff like that. Better look into that, because some of those scans give off radiation. So if I read about this, if you're a really anxious person, you do too many scans, the irony is you're exposing yourself to radiation over nothing. So be careful with that too. But yeah, be sure to check yourself out. So Weiss EK and the 3 Sandstorms. Let me go get a box of Weiss EK. Whoa, kind of slammed the door there. When my door to the outside is open, my bedroom door slams. So weird. But yeah, so the thing that solved that for me when I was in college 8 years ago, what made the heart palpitations go away? I had to sleep more, work less, and worry less. That was it. It was actually just stress. I had a stress overload. The doctor was like, what do you do? Well, I get the bonus hours at my job. So I work 12 hours. And I live in a dingy little room that I rent from a friend because we're on the verge of going bankrupt. And I'm worried I'm not going to be able to graduate because I'm working too much and it's making it very hard to study. And the doctor's like, oh, well, there you go. You have a heart problem because you're working too much and you got a stress overload. And so, you know, I kind of let go of some of those feelings. And what do you know? My heart's back to brand new. That's all it was. It was just bad feelings. Now, your kidney situation might not be that, but whatever it is, you probably just talk to your doctor and do what he says, and it'll probably be fine, dude. We are? All right. But yeah, that's just a reminder to everyone. Take care of your organs, all of them. We are. Take care of your kidneys, your pancreas, your liver, your stomach, your intestines, your brain. Even your jaw. Apparently, I got a clicking jaw on my left side. What the hell is that all about? Probably I have arthritis in my jaw, guys. My left side jaw has been clicking for a few weeks now. And so I'm trying to chew only on the right side of my mouth. That's what I read on the internet. It's to try just chewing on the right side for a while. Here we are. They're reviewing my case with the team of doctors. Have a second radiologist opinion next week with the tumor board. Praying to God that it's not serious. I'm glad your palpitations stopped. Well, you know, let's say you did have like a tumor on your kidney or something. Well, the good news is that you got 2 kidneys. So a kidney problem is not a death sentence. It's not, it could actually be pretty simple. Here we are. But yeah, I get it, man. It's scary, you know. It's scary. It forces you to, I think it forces you to recognize your own mortality, you know. That's tough. It's tough to face your own mortality. And it takes time to get over that. And I think that's what the elderly have done. They've been in your shoes so many times with one problem or another with their body that nowadays they go to the doctor and they just talk to the nurse like, oh yeah, my husband's got a failing this and a failing that. And they talk about it like it doesn't matter. And that's because they're used to it. But you and I, you're so young that you're not used to it and you're learning about it for the first time. And it's really, really shocking. But so take a breather and, again, whatever the problem is, just fight it. That's it. So whatever the doctors might say it is, this or that, you just fight it, do whatever they tell you, and it definitely puts you on track for being healthy anyways. So, yeah, you got 2 kidneys, though. You might be perfectly fine. Here we are. Let's see. We've got a hollow. Saying prayers for you, bud. Mr. Put in that jaw to work. Very sus. Here we go. All right. Whoa. Are the UFC Stadium Club 2025 not as valuable as Chrome 2025? I don't know. Choppa Boppa says it's extremely shocking. It's so scary, and I will fight this. Yeah. And you know, it's probably impossible until the doctors come back and tell you how you were. But it's just really high stress right now, and you get through it with whatever helps you beat stress. Because the stress itself is not healthy for you. It's a stress event. So this is like a stress event in your life. And you should go play some games, go get some extra rest, try to take your mind off it. Because again, no matter how much you freak out or how sharp your anxiety is, it doesn't fix any problems. So your emotions don't help you here. So anyways, I hope that helps. But the only thing that's really going to help is when the doctors come back and tell you it's all Gucci. Ooh, but my perspective is you're really young. The odds of cancer, extremely low. You're actually really, really young. So 36 is not the age for cancer. And very often, it's some other problem, like your kidney is struggling, and that does come with wear and tear. That comes with age. And so it's just time to take better care of your kidneys. That's most likely what you're going to find out. All right. Mr. Do you think they're going to prosecute everybody on the Epstein list? No. How will they? I mean, how do they prosecute them? It's tricky. Like, okay, so Jeffrey Epstein has a bunch of emails. Is that enough evidence to prosecute somebody for a crime? You need a lot of stuff to actually put someone in jail or find them guilty of something. Like if you and I wrote a disparaging message between each other, about some nasty thing. Can I be thrown in jail for that now? No, you have to prove I did it. You actually, just because I wrote it down in an email doesn't mean that you can throw me in jail for it now. And so a lot of people are going to find that super dissatisfying, but that's probably how it's going to be. Like if some guy says, hey, you got any girls, right, in an email, you have to prove that that meant 13-year-old girls or whatever. He could have been referring to 21-year-olds, that's legal, or 18 or whatever. That's legal. You can't throw a guy in jail for that. So it's going to be very tricky just off of some feelings and some emails. And then those guys are going to have legal teams. They're rich people. So all those guys on those lists, they got millions of dollars to fight these cases, or billions maybe. And they're going to say stuff like, well, it's planted evidence. He was a blackmailer. They're going to say Jeffrey Epstein was a well-known blackmailer, and he wrote that email because it's blackmail, or something like that. So they're going to have great legal teams fighting it, and it's just going to be really tough. Miss Alexandra, no Siggy in there. There we go. All right, so yeah, they might try to prosecute, but I think it'll be very tough. There it is. You need something like photo evidence or video evidence of like murder, or the video needs to somehow, or a photo needs to prove the age of the person, that kind of stuff. And then I think they will probably prosecute at that point. All right, so we got Leap. Ooh, look at that, Leap. We got Lotad and Whalmer. Ooh, these are really cute. I like these. Yeah, some people might get prosecuted in the end, but also it's a time thing. So I think that they have to build a case up before they prosecute, because if they fail in their prosecution, they're not going to get another shot. So you don't rush that stuff. These guys have a lot of money for very, very skilled legal teams. They could hire the best lawyers in the country to defend themselves because they have the money for that. So if the government prosecutes anyone and they really want to put this person in jail, they need time to build their case and do investigation and research. So the American people are very fiery and angry in the moment, but the federal government can't screw this up. They have to do a very good job of it. All right, look at that. Lilit, Whalmer, Lotad. Trade break is so close. That's right. Oh, yeah, the trade break. Where'd that go? Here it is, the trade break. Here it is. It says 4 out of 5. I'm a new buyer. Can I please get a 10 Legendary Collection slab? Yes, sir. Let's see. Who cares? Y'all see the Dow Jones Industrial Average top 50,000? Yeah, well, you didn't even say thank you because the Dow Jones. Yeah, Pam Bondi, and I guess you could say the Trump administration had a very weak deflection on Epstein, and it actually makes them look guilty on Epstein. It's horrible politics, and I think the Democrats know it, and I think Republicans, whether they want to admit it or not, know it. That was some really bad politics that just occurred for the Republican Party in the congressional hearing of Pam Bondi. She did a very poor job. The arguments themselves, the talking points, the narrative itself was very bad. Wow, your Lotad's looking great. All right. Yeah. Well, who cares about all these horrendous satanic crimes? Look at the Dow Jones. Okay, we're looking at this is what we're looking at. So your card is getting a 10 minus because it has lips. There's otherwise not really any other problems. But so you'll want to send this probably to PSA, not even to tag grading. Tag grading, I think, is very harsh on lips. So I would not send that to tag grading. I saw a picture of the hearing of someone with Potter books saying Trump's name comes up more times in the files than Harry Potter's name in the books. Here, let me grab this. Yeah, I think that Democrats are still trying to get Trump on something, but as far as I know, the files didn't actually show that he did anything nefarious. I've seen AI fake things, but here's a problem with that. The problem is no one believes that all the files were released. That's the problem. But the files did show that Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, like in the early 2000s. It also showed that Trump worked with the FBI to basically be an informant on Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, what do we got? So I don't know. I don't think there's anything you can say about him. Wow, that looks really clean. This is a great card. Okay, but yeah, I mean, the bigger problem is until there's another president, no one's ever going to believe that all the files were released, you know? Ooh, man, that's real nice. This one also gets a 10 minus for the same problem as the Lotat. It's going to get a 10 minus because of the lips. Now, you might not get a 10. You might get a 9. See, I don't know how PSA treats those lips anymore. I call them lips. They're on the they're cutting problems on the edge of the card where the card is lifted slightly. I'm giving you top loaders for these. I mean, you paid some money to have them pre-graded, but I like them. They're vintage. They're nice. I would just top load them for free for fun. Harry Potter, though, can't escape the culture impact it had. Let's see. I'm going to buy a Mega Charger. I think being associated with Jeffrey Epstein at all is like nuclear waste. So Trump is now a troubled candidate for the Republican Party, and Republicans need a candidate who's not associated with Epstein at all in any capacity. You know? Ooh. Like if you've got a picture with Jeffrey Epstein, you could still be perfectly innocent, but it does not matter. You have a picture next to Jeffrey Epstein. You're toast. So I think that Trump is a troubled candidate now. And I think this is like his Achilles heel. He's actually so good on subjects, but this is an Achilles heel of his. He's a billionaire. And so you wonder, what do billionaires get up to? Are they doing, naked forest meetings and they drink children's blood and, you know what I mean? So that is an actual weakness for him. And it shows you that it doesn't matter what candidate you are, you always have a weakness. Actually, I learned that a long time ago from a classic story, the story of King Arthur. Yeah, King Arthur was like this undefeatable character. And he gets defeated over time by his own wife. No! And Sir Maverick, which was like his cousin or something, and Lancelot, who was supposed to be his best friend, but ended up cheating on him by taking his wife away. So King Arthur did have a weakness, and it wasn't like physical war, it was internal relationships. Isn't that fascinating? That's why storytelling's so powerful. But you see this kind of storytelling before, too. Remember the story of Red Dead Redemption? Well, Red Dead Redemption 2, it's all about, guess who? Arthur. That's what his name was, wasn't it? It was Arthur. And he also seems unstoppable until he's taken down by tuberculosis. How fascinating. So his weakness wasn't that the bad guys could ever overwhelm him. He was defeated by disease. So every candidate, no matter how strong they are, there is some angle to take on them and defeat them. Miss Alexandra, your card has a problem on the back where the whole corner is white. So this is also a cutting issue. You have a white dot down here, and then you have a white dot up here. So this card gets a 7, okay? Yeah, that's the story of King Arthur. He seemed undefeatable until one day his closest ally is cheating on him. Not cheating on him, cheating with his wife on him. And, so it's like a double whammy. He lost his wife and his best friend at the same time. And then he got betrayed by, like, his nephew, I think. I think Sir Maverick was his nephew, wasn't it? Ah, yes, the infamous TCC spoiler. You did this to me 5 years ago as I was starting my first playthrough of Red Dead Redemption. What? Red Dead 2, it's been out a long time. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If you haven't played Red Dead 2 at this point, that's on you, not me. That's a very good game, and everyone's played it except for maybe you. Kanye just had to act crazy to get away. Kanye turned out to be the most sane billionaire. Mister ain't got no white dots on his corners. That's right. So those are some pretty decent cards. Hopefully the Whalmer could get a 10, because you might have a buyer if it does. All right, that is Miss Alexandra. Thank you so much. That was a $158 order. She's very nice to us. Miss Alexandra, thank you. Hey, how about that giveaway? We need a giveaway, everybody. What do we got over here? This is a nice giveaway. All right, we got a giveaway. I'm giving away this Houndoom 9 today. How does that sound? All right, let's grab a sleeve. Crazy how yellow borders are nostalgic now. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Maybe they'll go back to them. You never know. Probably not. I don't think they should. I think that the Japanese and the English should have some more coherence to them. I see we have 43 likes. Take a second and smash that like button for the free one, guys. I'd appreciate that. All right. The story of King Arthur. Man, that was so much fun. You know, one of my favorite stories when I was a kid, I did a lot of reading. One of my favorite stories was Robin Hood. And not like the Mother Goose version of it, but like the old original Robin Hood. Have you guys ever read that? The original story, written in ye old English, although they kind of translate it. Yeah, that's good stuff. It wasn't really a children's story back then. It was more like for teens, young adults. The story of Robin Hood. It was like for people. It was like Charles Dickens kind of stuff. And it was a fun read, man. That was one of my favorites too. Robin Hood and his merry men. That was good stuff. All right, so we're gonna let's make the keyword TCC. Good stuff. King Arthur, Robin Hood. There we are. Hey, mister, good morning. I'm only here for the free ones. What? It may surprise you, but I haven't played every single video game in existence. Well, you better get to it. Yellow borders should stay gone. We need them to be nostalgic, like seeing the Pocket Monster back in the old Japanese days. Sure. Did I hear Hound Doom? All right, so we're jumping over here to the giveaway channel. I'm going to hit refresh. Hold on, you're typing in TCC too soon. I haven't set it up. So it used to be Ailman. Now it's going to say TCC. That's our keyword for the giveaway. You just type that in, guys, and you'll be in the giveaway. So now you can type it. It's available. All right, guys, happy Friday. I hope you're having a great Friday. It's payday. Woohoo! One of the best days of the week. Oh, man, I had like eggs and a hash brown for breakfast, and it's like coming back up. So welcome to our Friday stream. We need to go over the breaks. Oh, yes. So we have this very nasty Ghastly. He is Neo Destiny 10. You know, you probably think to yourself, he's just a common, but he's only population like 160. That's it. Let that settle in. His population is 160 when it comes to PSA 10s. That's virtually nothing. I mean, it's as rare as any vintage card. And Ghastly's always going to be popular because he's one of those evolution lines for Gengar. He's always going to be popular. So this is a fantastic break. He's already really expensive, but you know what? Do I think his price goes up from here? Absolutely. Absolutely. It comes down to rarity, and it comes down to desirability. A classic set, Neo Destiny, first edition, WotC era, evolution of the Gengar line. So this is a great lightning break. Here we go. So that's our new lightning break. I just wanted to give you my thoughts on that card. I try to choose breaks that I think are quality. It's not an accident that Ghastly's there. We try to choose high quality breaks where if you get this card for 40 bucks, not only did you get him really cheap in the break, but he also goes up in value from what we're posting his value at. So he goes beyond this over time. You know, he turns into $1,000 card slowly. Here's the trade, and people probably can't even imagine that $1,000 card, and it's just a common. I mean, we saw Charmeleon was like 700 for an unlimited last night. I think the one on eBay is like 700 for an unlimited. So, you know, it gets crazy out there. Here's the trade slab. $5 is needed in here. You can just trade some junk cards to get in there. Here's the Mickey Mouse. So this guy's actually on the move. It's 3 out of 7 deep. 1935 Mickey Mouse Bubblegum. He is one of the cards you can jump into. You get a half star spot. The other 2 spots can be purchased if you wish. And so in other words, when the star card comes out, $20 on it will be done. $20 will be needed to finish it, and those will be for sale for $10 a piece. So Mickey Mouse Horseshoe, it features Pluto, Minnie Mouse, and Mickey Mouse all on one photo. From 1935, it's pre-World War II. It's pretty exciting stuff. Here's our legendary Psyduck. He's not a goose, he's a duck, and he's up to 7 out of 25. It's just a beautiful card. I don't even need to talk about that one. That one will sell itself over time. It's kind of crazy how that works. Here's Nami Manga. Again, I don't need to say much about this one. It's pretty obvious. I can give you 2 big reasons why this card might sell. Here is Mew, 151. He's 5 out of 17, 12 spots remaining. He's getting close. I mean, at about 8 spots, he'll be half done. So he moves. Here is Nidoking, one of the very fastest moving breaks, despite being one of the largest, most expensive breaks. He moved by 2 spots yesterday. So that's the sub list. He's almost done with spot number 5. Here's, that's just a nice Squirtle. Okay. So all these breaks, this guy's brand new. I think there's 3 people in here. The Ancient Origins Pack Split. Pack Splits have been going off. They're popular. People like the Pack Splits. It's fun watching these old packs get opened. There's the mega sub list for the Nidoking, the donations, Discord, eBay, second YouTube channel. Okay, good. So some other notable fun things. We've, of course, got the Jumbo Pack Break. This is really popular. It's just a big pile of booster packs. You can take a 1 in 4 shot at that. And the Binder Break. Thank you for your words of comfort and kindness, mister. I'm sorry to bring a depressing vibe to your chat. It's not depressing. It's not depressing. You know, people all over the world are dealing with healthcare right now. Somebody has a parent who is sick. Somebody in our group might be sick and not talking about it. We all have health issues. Karis has a health issue right now. I'm out of shape. I'll probably have a health issue eventually. So, you know, it's okay. It's safe to talk about. It's not a big deal. You know, the trick is to just sort of soldier on and do whatever you got to do. We were talking about health issues yesterday. We were talking about the one actor, Vanderbeek. He had colon cancer and just passed away recently. And, of course, you don't need to be thinking about that right now. You're stressed. But, you know, so we were talking about how there's so many foods and chemicals in our environment. It's time to get rid of those things, get away from those things, you know. Start banning them, start outlawing them, find out what's going on. But that's but you don't have that problem. You're having a kidney issue. So again, I do think you're too young to have contracted anything seriously, but you got 2 kidneys, bro. You're gonna be all right. The Nami manga is way cheaper than I thought. What commons would we be chasing in the Ancient Origins pack? The Evolutions, for sure. I think there's a Pikachu in the set, too, isn't there? No, that's Roaring Skies. I got sneeze. Whew. What's cool about the Ancient Origins pack is it comes with the reverse holo, so it's like guaranteed going to give a card out. Because those reverse holos, if they grade 10, and they don't always grade 10, but if they grade 10, those reverse holos are selling for like $300 to $500. Mister, curious what your thoughts are on PSA 1 collector flippers. Seems like a flash fad for new collectors. I gotta sneeze again. I hate the dust in this room. I hate it. Maybe I get lung cancer from this room. Oh, man, that'd be devastating. But anyways, so PSA 1 is not a trend. It's not a fad. That's been around since, you know, all the way back in 2019. That's been a thing. People buy PSA 1 because it's fun to have a 1 rather than a 10. That's all it is. You see these ironic prices where the PSA 1 costs more than a PSA 2 because people prefer that number 1. So it's a real thing. It's a real psychological thing, okay? Karis is texting me. Aw, she's sending me cute things. And apparently Miss Alexis is getting her home today, I think. All right, cool, man. PSA 1s are also decently hard to get. What's the rarest card? PSA 1 is low pop, and people love low pop. Air purifier in the room. Yes, we have an air purifier in the room. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to check the queue and see if you guys want any action today. What's up, guys? We've got an order from Miss Kayla, who says to Korean Mega Dream. All right, the Mega Dreams. It says here I have an empty bag of it. So let me go get some fresh Mega Dream. Oh my gosh, too much sneezing, bro. Ooh, man, I got the sniffles, man. Can you show me? I'm a big fan of you, says Clashilius. Oh, he means what's your rarest card? Gosh, man, I think my best card these days is probably that Gold Star Dragonite, right? Not Dragonite, Gold Star, I can't think. Gyarados. So it's probably this one. But I just heard from somebody that the Gold Star Charizard sold for $100,000. So as crazy as it might sound, I might be holding a $200,000 in my hand between these 2 cards. They didn't cost me that much. I don't know. It's a really exciting time. It's a lucky day to be me. But you know what? I take it with a grain of salt because someday all of these cards will belong to somebody else. That's a fact. So you don't take your money with you when you die. So I just have a bit of fun. It's like a game that I played, and I did a good job at the game. And there's more important things in life, like having friends, like you guys. All right, let's snip this up. You ready? So, Miss Kayla Taylor. Yeah, it's weird flaunting the Pokemon cards these days because they're worth more than they used to be worth. So it feels like you're flaunting something else off, and you feel like you're going to trigger something, like someone's going to get mad at you because you did too well or something. All right, 2 of these Mega Dreams. Back when I acquired those kind of cards, you showed them off, and you were just kind of looked at like a weird person. was like, wow, you spent all your money on that? You know what I mean? So you weren't treated like, oh, hey, that's a really expensive card. You weren't treated like that. You were just treated like you're kind of a weirdo, or like, all right, that's definitely one way to live, I guess, you know. But now that they've gone up in price, it feels like if I show off the same card that I still love, it feels like I'm like overtly bragging. And so it's a different feeling. Here it is. Ooh. Also, it kind of triggers a need for security in your brain, too. Like, damn, bro, I need security. I need lots of it. There you go. You feel less safe. Having friends coming from Mr. sounds weird. What? Yeah, that's right. No friends. Let's see. So we've got... Ooh, Roselia. Ooh, Diglett. Look at that Diglett. I think part of the reason the price on these cards keeps moving up is because there's these big card shops out there that are just having phenomenal success. And they keep acquiring money and just keep rolling it over. And whoa, look at that. Oh, that's cool, man. Metagross Altart. Nice. Congratulations, Kayla. That is so cool. All right. I remember when I got my first job in buying Pokemon cards, was one of the first things I did with my friends, or with my first check. That was back in 2012. 2012. There we go. All right. Miss Kayla having some luck right at the beginning of the stream. Was there more? No, it was just this one order. All right. There we go. All right. What's the name of this CO's song? His name was Sensei, and he was like a World War II helicopter pilot in the game. And his commanding officer's power was, when you activate it, you got a mecha trooper on every city that you owned in the game. So you'd hit the commanding officer power, and all of a sudden you'd have like 50 infantry on the map. He's really good. Hello, people. Hello, Mr. Russ. All right. So that is done. We have Mr. Lewis Laura. I'd like 3 of the One Piece Japanese EB3s. Okay. We got 3 of them right there. Ooh. Wish I would have been taking Pokemon cards as payment like I do now 6 years ago when I started my detailing business. Lol, I'd be pokey rich. That's crazy. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way, and they wonder where it goes from here. And, you know, it's just this probably, I don't know. I just really don't know. You can rally, say, oh, yeah, it's going to the moon, it's going to the moon, it's going to the moon. It's definitely an interesting time period to be in Pokemon cards. Here's a holo. Here's a holo. You can say, Big Connect! Big Connect guy. Lewis Laura with an L. I can tell you, I'm not slowing down. I see some cards and I go, how's this so cheap? I don't understand how this is so cheap right now, because I see what's possible. There we go. Ta-da. All right. Very good. Like, how can this guy be pop 160 and he's only, you know, he's only like $300 or $350 or whatever? Whew. Let's go ahead and pull out this Eradicate. I know you guys are very excited to own a rat. Here's Snorlax. Let's take a picture of Lillian Cosmog. Well, you know, 6 would have been excited for that card, maybe. We haven't seen 6 in a while. I hope she's feeling all right. You know, I think she suggested she wasn't feeling too well. And I wasn't sure if she was telling the truth or not. What I mean by that is I wasn't really sure exactly what she meant by that. Like, is it something really serious, or is it, you know what I mean? All right, so let me take a picture of the Process Labs channel. Here we go. Just got 3 months free Nitro for a PayPal order. Is Nitro, I'm trying to remember, is that Discord? God, will the colors change on this? There we go. All right. So this is going down into the Pricey Slabs channel. I was so surprised when my friend gave me like a Charizard 151, and I have a Blastoise from 151. I don't know if you have those, because you know what I mean. As long as sealed supply is limited and market-based population expands, I don't see how it can't keep growing. The short-term rate of growth may slow down, but not the long-term. There we go. Yeah, it's really fascinating. I think all of society is looking for a place to put their money. And some people put it in real estate. Some people put it into Walmart stocks. Some people put it in the bank. Some people put it in gold. Everyone's always looking for a place to store their value. And crypto has had this massive rise where people said, hey, digitized tokens, that's the place to store my value. And that's a new development. I think one of the other new developments is collectibles that everybody wishes that they had. That's another place to store my value. And so Pokemon cards is on that list. The real question is, at what point is it considered overvalued? And do you want to gamble on that? Do you want to try to time the market? I don't want to time the market. That's the thing about my collection. That's why you don't see me sell it, even when it looks bad. It's because I'm not trying to time the market. I'm just trying to make it to the next, I'm just trying to make it to the next year without having to sell anything. So here's Miss Candy Vargas, who's, I probably can't even see your messages because I am in, can I see her messages? No, because I am in regular chat. Hold on, let me see. Let me close the chat. And now we're back over here. And then let's swap over to live chat. Did that work? And now let's pop the chat out again. All right, let's see if we can see Candy Vargas after this. I still don't see her, though. Let's see. What's up, mister? Been a while. Hope you're doing well, says Saint Germain. What's up, man? Manny Rosario. I'm going to the moon after this blunt. Let's see. As long as seal supply, I already read that one. FOMO is an extremely powerful detriment of human nature. Well, it's not just FOMO. Like, you're seeing somebody do something and you're learning from them, you know? So you could say, like, the gold rush was FOMO, but there really is gold. Gold today is still valuable and desirable. So, you know, is that FOMO, or are people just making rational choices to go after the thing that they've all realized has value? Ooh, look at that Yoshi. He's cute, man. So, Miss Candy Vargas, Ancient Origins Split. You're going in. We are? Just sent another order. Ancient Origins is too tempting. That's a fair point. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the gold rush is like the original FOMO, but it's like you think, oh, these poor idiots for trying to find gold and they didn't. But at the same time, gold is valuable. It really is. If only they had found some. Some people did, but a lot of people did not, sadly, because they didn't understand how to find gold. So here's 5. Ooh. But yeah, FOMO is very fascinating. FOMO is very fascinating. Maybe that's kind of like how the breaks work. Everyone takes a plot of land for gold, but only one person gets a nugget. They're pretty dangerous. But, you know, booster pack opening in general is pretty dangerous. Wouldn't you guys agree with that? Booster pack opening can be just as dangerous as one of our breaks. Like, let's say you take a $40 spot. What's the closest break to going off? Let's say you take a $40 spot in this guy. He's got 2 spots left. Well, it's like you could have just opened $40 of booster packs, but you could have pulled nothing out of them. You could have pulled like some bulk cards, some hollows. Here's Edward Shelton. He's got a bigger order. 1 box Nihil Zero and 5 Silver Tempest. Oh, I like this order. I like this order. This is good. So let's get that Nihil Tempest. Not Nihil Tempest. Nihil Zero. I'm fusing their names together. Can I see what a Charizard looks like? Says Bot Boy. A Charizard. We got a Charizard right here. I should probably sell this Charizard. I wish I'd bought a PSA 9 of this Zard. You know why I didn't buy one? Because I wanted to sell this PSA 6 before I bought one. And so I didn't ever buy one. I'm so stupid. I should have just bought the 9. I'm so dumb. All right, so there's that. Actually, here's another dumb move that I regret. The first edition base set Gyarados was only like 15,000 at one point, and I failed to buy him. Even though I liked him and I saw him, I said, ooh, you should buy that one. But I said, maybe not right now. You don't have the money. I should have bought that card. And now I'm like super mega regretting it because I really like Gyarados. Yes. Thank you, bro. I liked and I subbed. Oh, that's nice. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. How long do you think for the tag stuff will take to return, says Cricket Jim? I just did a new tag submission, so if you didn't check the tag submission center in our Discord server, you can check on that. If you're from an earlier submission, which I think you are, I'm sure it'll return faster than PSA, but even tag is slowing down a bit, guys. So tag used to take a little over a month. I think they're taking a little over 2 months now. And that's not a surprise. I mean, I think we helped build them up a little bit. I think we gave them some extra business just from our own orders. But also, I think we advertised them really successfully. So they're probably getting some extra business from me and anyone else that worked with them. And yeah, the real question is, when do we start doing CGC submissions again? You guys want to do CGC? CGC should be a little bit cheaper. All right, let's snip this. Let's see. I don't think CGC is going to be much cheaper than tag grading, though. That's the problem. Tag grading. Let's snip this. We get a deal with tag grading, so seems like tag grading is the way to go. Although one of the other problems is tag doesn't grade everything. Tag has a limited scope. All right. Didn't he only want 6 packs of these, or was it a whole box? He wanted a whole box of Nihil Zero. This is the new set, $4 a pack. We have not pulled the top card out of here, which I believe... What's the top card of Nihil Zero? It's like a girl, and then the other one is Altart Meowth, right? There we go. One more pack. God, I love this song, too. This commanding officer, he was good at naval units. In this game, there was airplanes, ground units, and naval units. And the naval units were sometimes the most expensive, but the most powerful units in the game. We are. Ooh, cold. Here's... God, this game was so well made. I don't remember this Pokemon's name ever. It's like Aurora or something. Yeah. When did that Pokemon get designed? I never see that Pokemon. Put this away now. It's Rosa. Tag is the new SGC. I think SGC is the new SGC. We are. SGC, I think they beat them, didn't they? They beat them in terms of volume. That's pretty remarkable because SGC's been around a long time. We are. I tried pumping SGC too. I tried helping them out. And I don't think that they took off quite as much. Okay, a little Velton. I guess I sleeved that up because I thought it looked nice. Doobity-boo-boo-boo-biddy-boo. Oops. Okay. Have you ever accidentally cut your cards when opening packs with scissors? So I did cut a pack a long time ago, but it was a really weird, tiny little pack. It was like this big. And it was like this thing called a, what was it called? It was like a lenticular card, little square one. And it just had weird packaging. That was why it tricked me. But when I cut booster packs, what you don't know is one of my fingers is on the back of the pack. And what it does is it feels the top of the card, and then I rest the scissor on top of that finger. So it's virtually impossible to cut the cards. So I've been cutting millions of cards with those scissors and have never cut through any, just a standard, you know, TCG, the standard, yeah, I said that right, standard TCG pack of any type. But yeah, I got hit with that lenticular that one time. You know how we fixed it, though? We gave them a brand new pack. So they got a brand new pack, and nothing was really lost. We didn't cut through anything valuable. Ooh, which was lucky. You cut a vintage Blue Eyes White Dragon. Oh, but that's different. That's not a booster pack. Yeah, I remember that, too. I was trying to get a... I was trying to disassemble a weird binder. And I thought, okay, well, you can't just pop the binder open and pull the sheets out. Maybe I can just cut the sheets out. So I was cutting like 12 sheets at a time. And it did that thing, you know, where you try to cut too much at a time. And one of the sheets was cut at a strange angle as a result. Oh! Look at that Starmie Man. Oh, yeah. That is such a weird mega design. I love it, actually. Starmie wasn't really, you know, Starmie wasn't really selling ever. There was just no sales on Starmie. Now Starmie being like this crazy, like alien Starman. It's fun. I think it's a creative. Mega Starmie. I think someone out there is probably enjoying that a lot. People get triggered, mister, when you press down on the packs. When I press down on the packs, what are they talking about? We are cold. I guarantee you the people who just rip the packs open, they cause a lot of pressure on those cards inside. We are. They cause a lot of pressure. When you rip those packs open, it's a very chaotic move. You know, it jumbles the cards around plenty. A nice clean snip with the scissors. Very safe. Here we are. People talk bad about this set, then they will want it in 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it always goes that way, doesn't it? It is. Even a bad set of Pokemon cards can be fun to open. The English version of this set's going to have a reverse holo Gengar in it. So watch that card become a $100 reverse holo over time. All right, but the Japanese version, he's only non-holo, unless they reprint him in a specialty set. So you got Dinosaur, Starmie, this beautiful Dedenne, Yveltal, and Aurora. This is fun. I mean, it's a cheaper set, and it's got some nice B, you know, like B-tier Pokemon in it. Like Aurora, nobody really jumps for that. Dedenne, he's not Pikachu. But it's like every single set that gets released can't just be Pikachu, Gengar, Charizard, Lugia. You know what I'm saying? It can't be that way. It'd be boring if they did that. Umbreon in every set. Oh, this set has an Umbreon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He only ordered 5. All right, so that's part of what makes this so pricey. This is a big order because he ordered 5 of these Silver Tempest guys. Oh, yeah, Silver Tempest time, baby. Crimson Invasion was also poop. Now the booster boxes are making moves. Well, it's got a great Gyarados in it. And it's got some sexy waifus. And it's got Chibi Pikachu. It's got Chibi, is it Chibi Magikarp? I can't remember. But it's got Chibi Pikachu in it. It's a great set. Turns out that that's a great set. All right, so let's see. Snip. So 5 Silver Tempest. You're taking me back. It feels like it's 2022, 2023 all over again. When were these made, does it say? You're taking me back. We just went back in time. It's 2022, everyone. 2022, which, by the way, was 4 years ago. Woo! 4 years ago. 4 years ago, guys. How does the time fly so fast? I guess it flies when you're having fun. So, back to Silver Tempest. We're looking for Lugia. I bought a couple of these. I think I can show you, in fact. Are they also in my vault? Let me see. Nowadays, I don't get to show off my whole collection in the old style. I have to show you by showing off my vault. It's not as exciting. But let's see. You know, so, okay, so I sent some of them. So, look, I got 3 Lugias in there. You're looking for that guy right there. I think I own a total of 6 of them, so I think this suggests some are still with me. And take a look at that guy. Trying to pull that guy right there. He's the goal. Okay, you ready? The packs are actually still pretty affordable. And there's a lot of other cool cards in here. So you got Fanpy. Yeah, these packs are not as expensive as you'd think. Rockruff. So you can pull something like Rockruff out of here while you're searching for that Lugia. Take a look at the price of these packs. I think they're $20. And then take a look at the price of Ascended Heroes. It's the same price. It's $20 for now. All right, let's see. But here's the difference. They're going to reprint Ascended Heroes 100 times. This is not getting reprinted anymore. This set's done. Here's Mawile. So the question is, which one's the better one to open? It's really hard to say. Here's Unidentified Fossil. And here's Leafy Camel Punch. Leafy Camel Punch. All right, I'm locking your big order, Mr. Edward Shelton. Let me pop you into the giveaway. I'm going to pop Miss Alexander in there, too. She had a really big order as well. So I get both you guys. Mister, can I see the back of that Lily poker card? This one right here. So this card just recently sold on eBay for like $450 or something like that. I think it was $460. But remember, on eBay, they got to charge you taxes too. So that's part of it. So our taxes is already in the cost of the card. And there's no more for sale. And so I just get to choose my own price. So we're doing $600. I really like the card. I wouldn't mind listing it up on eBay for about that price either. So these yellow bordered hollows, I would not treat these like the Scarlet Violet hollows. Here we are. I would treat these a little more seriously, especially now that they're a bit older. Mawile, Rockruff, the Dino, Starmie, Dedenne, Yveltal, and Aurora. Those are your pulls. Thank you so much, man. Let's find your bag. So Edward Shelton, these boxes are like really, really full. Can I do something about that? Let me do something about that. So what do we have here? Trevor Carpenter, Brett Love. So Brett Love's got 2 boxes over here. Let me do this trick real fast. So we're going to just do a little organizing. Oh, this box has plenty of space in it, so I'm going to have this be the closer box. All right. I'll move this over a little bit. So let me get an empty ETB box. I need an empty ETB. Let's see this one. All right, here we are. I have a few bags. Nice. And we're actually going to say Edward Cornelio on this because he's got more than a few. He's got a truckload. Okay, so Mr. Ed... Oh. I'm sorry. You guys still here? Did I bump your heads? I'm sorry. Happy Friday morning, by the way, guys. How you feeling today? All right, Edward Cornelio, who keeps winning these damn binder breaks. Bag number 1. Here's a big fat Edward Shelton bag. Eric Rodriguez. Who's this? Elijah Martinez. Edwin Delcid. This guy who seems like his bag should be expired, but it's not. Okay, that's not expired. Elijah, Elizabeth, Edgardo, Efren. Okay, good. So we've seen all those now. Here's Edgar Gonzalez. He should be in there. Binder break number 5. We're on our 5th round of the binder break. It shows you how fast those really go. Here's an Ediberto Mendoza. Edward Cornelio. There we go. Edward Cornelio. Well, that certainly clears up some space, doesn't it? Damn, bro. Let me put Ediberto back in here. I'm going to move this over here for a second. And Edward Shelton, I'm going to move this back over here now. We're going to move the jumbo pack break over here. Ernesto. Edward Cornelio. All right, there's another box. And look at this, Edward Cornelio. He had so much, dude. This guy had a lot of cards. So now it's a double box. He had enough for a double box. That's crazy. Now we know. Now we know why there was no room in the E-boxes. Good. There's Ernesto Ramirez, Estuardo, Eric Colburn, Everett Treminio. Those are all fine. We're just doing a quick cleanup over here. Okay, so you've got one big bag. That's what you have, okay? You got one big bag. That's what we found for you, Mr. Edward. Here's the binder break. Here's these empty packs. And let's bring your bag back. Here it is. You got one big fat bag with a lot of hollows here. Cool. And you're putting some more? I should have more, he says. Okay, so Edward's saying that he should have more. All right. Put this here. I'm going to put this back over here. So if you should have more, that would imply that I'm storing your card somewhere, kind of like what we just did with Mr. Edward Cornelio. So let me check behind my laptop. Sven, Kip, Brett, Tammy, Ivan. That's Ivan Ramirez. It's funny that he has a box back there. Okay, you're not back there. There's the overflow boxes here. So that would be my next place to suspect you're at. Let's see. Here's some boxes over here, too. Windy City Gaming, William Hernandez. Let me move my phone. So we were having an issue in the E-boxes where the E-boxes were too full. Arturo Perez has too much. It's very strange. Usually that's not the case. Arturo Perez. Usually we don't deal with Arturo Perez having 4 bags. Damn, that's a lot. He's been enjoying those. Kendo Pelor, the junk packs a lot. Those fill up your bags really fast. All right, so I can see we have some stuff over there, but I did not see your name. So you might be in one of these other overflow boxes. I should have more. Are you sure we didn't squeeze it all into just one big bag? We are. Okay, let me check over here. So we got Jeff. I just asked because I'm not done looking though. So Sarah Dusenberry, Moody Joe. Let Let me move all these slabs out of the way. Shahir, LaFlame, LaFlame, LaFlame. LaFlame has 3 bags. Maybe those should go over to the LaFlame shelf. Here's a Brett Love bag. Here's another Brett Love bag. We should get these Brett Love bags out of here. So Brett Love, he's got like triple double boxes is what he actually has. And one of them actually has a lot of space left in it. So let's go ahead and transfer these to get all of his cards into one place. There we go. Okay. Just a little bit of sorting here, guys, before we move on to the next order. Diane Bailey, Brett Love again. Dude, Brett Love had so much stuff. All right, so Brett Love again. He's going in here. All right. So, Edward, let me show you what was in that bag. Let's see. I remember one time we did a sort together. Here it is. We did a sorting together, right? And then you shipped out some of your stuff. But I don't remember all the details. So here's what is in the bag real fast, just so you know what's in this one. So this is the stuff we just opened. Wait, is it? Okay, hold on, wait a second. You got all this. What did you have over here? Do you have like hits bags and stuff like that? Is that what you're saying? So here's all this. Crobat, Switch, Reshiram. Okay, let me actually separate this into 2 bags. You have enough for 2 bags now. This one bag's really full, but we should do 2 bags for you. This song is so... There's an Aaron Rodriguez box. All right, popping this in here. Am I still getting all the comments? Let's see. Nope. Okay, so he hasn't responded. Let me go ahead and put your name here, Edward Shelton. All right. We're going to say bag number 2. So I'm going to toss this over here now. And you tell me what's missing, because I actually don't remember. I don't see you just hanging out in the overflow boxes. That doesn't mean you don't have more stuff over here. It just means I don't see anything else immediately around me that's yours. And I'm wondering what you say you have over here. It would help me search if I knew what to look for. There's Edward Cornelio, Abigail. That was like my last hit from a Japanese jumbo pack. My last hit from a Japanese jumbo pack. So how much are you claiming is missing? A single card or a whole like bag of cards? Let me check over here. So here's some what appear to be expired bags. When we run out of room, sometimes I get creative with where we store stuff. So I'm not saying it's not over here, but we may have to dig a little harder. Okay, we'll put this in here. This expired too? Man, there's so much expired crap that just clogs the whole table up. This is why we got to start removing some of the expired stuff. I try to hold it, but man, it just ends up clogging the whole darn table. Ever Barbell? What's this? Somebody from 2024, 10/2024, full name? What? All right, these got to go somewhere. It had a Mew. Okay, interesting. I'll move these over here. I think at some point we're going to have to move on to the next order. But let me go ahead and pull this L bag forward, or L box. So this is an L box that I believe also has E bags in it. Might have yours in it. So Lucas, Lou, Lawrence, Lucas, Lehman, Ethan Haas, Ernest Brutt, Eric Beltran. We did this like yesterday. Eric Beltran. Were we looking for your stuff yesterday? I don't remember. Let me grab this. Another box. Luke, Lori, Lewis, Larry, Cody. All right. Your baggy storage is probably the most creative aspect about you. Yeah, the baggage storage was a kind of a solution to a problem back then. We are. Do you have your cards with you right now? Do you want to look through them again? I don't see it right now, but again, it could still be over here. But I have to hear something that like triggers. So here's Edward Shelton, Eddie Berto, basically what needs to happen is I need to hear you say something like, oh, I should have a box. Because if you don't have a box, well, then it's on the table. But it's not here in the overflow patch, and it's not in the E boxes, and it's not in the L box. So we're running out of places. All right, let me move on to the next order. We've lost some viewers doing this. Here's Kayla Taylor, 1-pack split, Ancient Origins. Keep talking to me about it, Mr. Edward Shelton. I remember we did like a sort on all your stuff, and then you had me ship out. That's what I remember. And I'm not seeing any more stuff. No, I wasn't here. Lol, it's fine, though. Your baggy storage system, I'll take all the expired stuff. It's not a slab, right? Okay, so there's the Ancient Origin split. Let's grab this. We'll keep an eye out on it. We know that we're looking for maybe more Edward Shelton stuff now, but it's not like a whole bag of stuff, though, is it? Like, because that's really hard to hide for too long. I mean, it's possible for it to be placed in the wrong box, for example, but you can't hide that for too long. You know, you dig it up pretty quickly. 2 Korean Blue Sky Stream, 1 Minecraft base, 1 Minecraft Time to Mine. Ooh, okay. Give me a second. So 2 of these, huh? Ooh. What is this? Is this flipped around? No, this is facing the right way. All right. We got 1, 2. That was kind of nice, though. We got some stuff cleaned up. We got some Brett Love bags put into the Brett Love boxes. So we're consolidating all his stuff together. He had a lot. Minecraft base and Minecraft Time to Mine. Let's see. Oh, we need a new box of Minecraft base set, don't we? I showed you yesterday. We were done with that last box. So we're going to have to stand up for that. And then here is a Minecraft Time to Mine. Clashelius says, do you remember me from the other video? Oh, I remember, bro. I would never forget you. All right, so let's see. Minecraft base set. Well, I'm not seeing it. We might have sold out again. I think we might have sold out. I think you might have finished off the Minecraft base set. So, let me jump over here. Turn that down a little bit. Let me check this under purchase history. And we're going to say Minecraft base set. We might have sold out of that. Last time I bought some. Oh, wow. It's been a long time, I think. There it is. I last bought it in 2023, according to this. We might have just sold out. So I'm going to go remove it temporarily from the menu in case unless we find more of it. But I think it's sold out. So I owe you something. Crazy when you run out of something, you know, you just don't expect it to happen. Minecraft hobby, Minecraft base set was $6. We're going to say sold out. And then let's head over to the website and mark it sold out over there as well. Okay, guys. What can I get you instead of that? Anything? 25th to like. Hit that button, people. Hell yeah. Look at those likes. That's so nice. Oops. I typed in the wrong word. I typed in Minecraft. Okay. So here it is. Panini Minecraft base set. And we're going to say quick edit. we're going to say out of stock. Can I do 2 more Korean Blue Sky stream? All right, that's pretty good. So we have edited that to say out of stock so that people don't accidentally reorder it. And now let's get this in for you. So we're going to get 2 more Blue Sky streams. All right. We might have sold out of Minecraft base set, everybody. All right. Happy Friday, guys. How you doing on this fine Friday morning? This is the Friday morning stream, lunchtime stream, whatever you want to call it, daytime stream. We can run this stream as long as we need to. All right, we're tossing this away. Let's turn the music back up a little bit now. So, let's start here. Ooh, we got the pig. Very cute. We've got the dolphin. Very cute. Ooh. We've got... Oh, wow, your whole pack was cool. Look at this. You got Beware of the Dark and an achievement, but I don't know which one this is. Gonna wake up the wife and play more Dark Souls. What? Karis and I are playing games together. We're playing Gears of War 4, and I'm not gonna lie, we're kind of having a good time. You know, I never considered playing the game because Gears of War was kind of a dead franchise for me after Gears Judgment. And so I kind of ignored Gears 4 and I ignored Gears 5. And so we're finally, whoa, look at that. Wow, some cool cards in these old Korean booster packs, man. So we're shooting up the Gears 4 and it's not bad, man. It's kind of fun. Having good moments in the game. All right, so this is for Miss Kayla, who has a double box because she is all of a sudden kind of a big deal over here. She's opening lots of cards. There we go. Let's see. Let's get this in here. I saw your DS3 playtime. You PvP'd a lot. Really, you can see that as a friend. Yeah, so not only did I play PvP a lot, I was the host of competitive tournaments, and I also participated in the tournaments, and I was very good. I was extremely good. There's probably some really old content on the old TheCardconomist channel proving that. There was a lot of, well, I shouldn't get into all the details. We got a line here, but there was a lot of philosophy and argument over the meta tier list on weapon setups in the game, and I helped contribute a lot to that by breaking some other people's setups. I broke them with the counter setups. Here's Mr. Chad wanting the Ghastly break. Ooh, there you go. So the Ghastly break is on his way now. He has started up, everybody. Somebody gonna pull that, somebody gonna miss. Korean, you say like De Ya Li, my favorite Dragon Beauty. So Ghastly up to 1 out of 10. It is Friday. I bet you could all jump in here at the same time and launch this Ghastly. But you should do whatever you're most interested in. 1 pre-grade on number D Naruto, 1 Naruto Tops pack as a donation for a break. What? All right, well, look at that, guys. Mr. Chad's donating a whopping $54. That's a pretty hardcore donation. Is donations? I PvP'd a lot in DS2 and Elden Ring, but 3 got me started. For Dark Souls 3, we were into actual tournaments. And I would host those tournaments. And they were really serious. And we coordinated them on game facts, game FAQs. And, man, it was a big deal. Here we are. I was really well known. There we go. Look at that. I was super, super, super into gaming. All right. Let me throw this away. Ooh. Let's grab a sleeve. There was this one tournament that was hosted where I was just, you know, I was like the host of the tournament. I wasn't playing. And this guy takes first place with a particularly fun setup. And so he finishes the tournament in first place. And then I go down and challenge him right after he won. And then I beat him. It was really funny. I beat him with a setup that is very unconventional and shouldn't win. But because a lot of people thought it was bad, but they just weren't using it right. And then so it was kind of funny because we were still live. And I beat the guy in first place right after he had won. There we go. But he and I would train together for hours. That's what it's all about, guys. In life, it's all about practice. Practice is kind of a painful thing, and that's where money comes from. It comes from pain. So he and I would go live together in the arena and just endlessly practice, and we'd sort of test the very, the very limits of what you could do in the game. And I would just play for like 8, 10, 12 hours a day. And that's what makes you good at anything. Maybe it makes you good at selling cards. Maybe it makes you good at driving. Maybe it makes you good at medicine. I don't know. But it's just practice. All right, Mr. Chad, we got to name this after you because you have a very Chadly name. When they say Chad, they're talking about you. Stacy's and Chad's. All right. Let's go set this up. I'm going to cancel the current giveaway because it's smaller than this one. This one's a larger giveaway. And the keyword shall be capital C-H-A-D-D, Chad. There we go. Welcome, Material Defender. I think I'm going to invest in a tankless water heater this year. Been wanting one for a while. Amazing that thing Descent is 30 years old. Make it a gym break. I PvP'd a lot in DS2. Do you think Logan Paul announcing a $1.5 million Pokemon opening just earlier will make prices go up again? He's been quite the catalyst in the past. I don't think he'll have the effect it used to have. I think back in the day, it did have a big effect. I don't think he'll have as big of an effect right now. And I think he's probably selling right now because he perceives this as a high point in the market. So all he's doing, because Pokemon exploded without him, so it exploded in COVID with him. He probably did affect it back then. But it exploded most recently with very little fanfare or news about him. In fact, I think a lot of people have soured toward Logan Paul after his CryptoZoo garbage, where he basically rug pulled a bunch of guys. Maybe he didn't rug pull, but he facilitated a rug pull, and we don't truly know what he benefited from that. And so there was that, and then, now there's this Illustrator Pikachu, he wanted to do his whole, fractional shares garbage, just another rug pull for a bunch of poor guys. So he's done 2 rug pulls recently. He's like, I don't know, I think some people view him kind of criminally. At the very least, you have to view him as a scammer, not in the, I don't agree with your prices kind of way, but in the, like the actual original intention of the word kind of way. Like he seems like a scammer. So when you hear him being involved in the hobby, you go, oh man, good riddance. I hope he gives up all his cards and gets out of here, man. So I think in the past, he probably did affect the hobby in a positive way. Now he's like the poster child for, rug pull nonsense and celebrities who leverage their popularity to hurt other people, to make themselves wealthy. It's not a good thing. I don't think people want him in the card hobby that much, and I don't think the card hobby needs him anymore. The reason he jumped in the first place was during Hidden Fates, when Hidden Fates was just skyrocketing to the moon, and those videos were already pulling in some of the best views on YouTube. Just billions of people were watching Hidden Fates. Then at that point, he jumped in. So Pokemon was already popular. It's not like Pokemon had no popularity and he made it popular. Pokemon was already exploding when he joined in the past, right? That's what happened. Now we're in the future. His type of content, everyone's seen it already. I think he's just getting out of it. I think that's what it is. And again, kind of a good riddance because it's like he's really tarnished his brand. I used the word tarnished. We're talking Dark Souls, and I used the word tarnished. He tarnished his brand with what he did. I think that it's really poor what happened. I gotta have a sip here. Oh man, I'm enjoying these. I'm enjoying these teas. They're really yummy. I think I like tea better than coffee. Coffee's okay, but you have to add like sugar or creamer to it. All right. He tried to say he was as athletic as an NFL player, and Tom said, that's cute. Well, he's pretty athletic looking. He's got the muscle tone and all that. I don't know. Maybe he's pretty athletic. But, he's definitely bragging a lot. So pre-grade on your Narutos. Mr. Chad, let's take care of you now. You ready? Oh, yeah. I don't hate the guy. I just, I wish he had been more transparent with all of these things he was doing, like the CryptoZoo. Instead of being a hype man, he should have said, hey guys, be careful with your money in CryptoZoo, because we don't even have a working game yet. So we'll allow you to buy the crypto, but you could get rug pulled. He should have said that. He should have said, be careful, you could get rug pulled. Some of my guys already own a ton of this CryptoZoo ahead of time. And so if they decide to sell early, you're going to get rug pulled. Imagine he had said that. Should have blasted that on his channel a couple times. because that would have been him being honest. All right, let's see. Ooh, Dragonites. Look at all these great cards you got, man. You got so many cards. You got all these lovely sticker cards. Beautiful. These are all vintage. These sticker cards are. They're really cool. Very sick. Same with the fractional shares. So he hyped up the fractional shares like it was the next thing in Pokemon cards. And people listened to him. And to their own detriment, they listened to him. So it really hurt them to listen to him. Come on now. I just want this one card. Ah, there it goes. All right, so you got this out of 25. Oops. And those are cool. Little Wigglytuff there. Little Gengar. That's kind of cool. That's one that you could grade. And here's Naruto. That's probably the one you want graded right there. The Naruto. Yeah, so he was the hype man for that company that did the fractional shares idea, and it ended up being an unpopular business. And then he somehow is allowed to buy everyone out of their shares. Like, how? Like, and now he gets to sell the card for a huge profit. Like, I don't know. Seems like he doesn't mind hurting a lot of guys to make himself wealthy. That's how it feels. And I don't like that feeling. It's a terrible feeling. So, you wanting a grade on this Naruto Azumaki? You're looking at the front of the card. It's not too bad, actually. The front of the card is cleaner than you'd expect. But if we look down in the bottom left corner, I think I'd have to argue that this corner is not quite the way it needs to be. So look at that. You see that? So that looks like kind of a dirty corner. It's kind of got a white dot on it there. Could be a high 9, though. Let's check the back. The back of the card has some speckling near the top. What's interesting is it doesn't have as much of that speckling near the bottom. But the back of the card's pretty clean, actually. So, but let's zoom into this. And here you see a type of residue, and I don't know what that's from. You know, if I were you, because the card is such a low number and popular character, I would consider experimenting with it. You know, so I would probably expect this to get an 8. But I would consider sending that to Tag or even to PSA and just seeing what happens. And even if it doesn't get a 10, with it being so low pop, it probably still sells. Yeah. Or you could leave it ungraded, put it in a magnetic holder, and sell it as an ungraded card. Never put the capital toward grading it at all. Just buy a little magnetic holder, so it's, you know, kind of in a plastic holder, a serious plastic holder, and then just be like, here it is, Naruto 1425, you know. So, but I don't know which one will give you more money. If you can get a 9 on it, I would suspect the 9 would give you more money than if you sold it raw. All right, there it is. Very nice. You got some enviable cards in there, man. I like that Gengar as well. Thank you. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. You guys having a good Friday? Who's having a good Friday? It's the card, not the grade. Thank you, mister. No problem, man. All right. So, and you guys should all be saying thank you to Mr. Chad. That was his order we just went through. He's giving away a $54 Naruto pack. That's pretty dang generous. That's a pretty big giveaway. We haven't seen giveaways that big since Mark J. Valerian went nuts in December. That guy gave away like almost $1,000 in December. Can you believe that? Crazy. Not sustainable. You can't do that forever. Here's Jose Santos for Cyberway Tag Machamp. Japanese RIP nighttime stream. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, but you know I sleep like a baby now, right? You know I get all the good sleep. I sleep when it's dark. I wake up when it's light. On the weekends, my wife and I just wake up together and we go do things together. It's brilliant. It's actually pretty amazing. You know how bad it was in the past? The way it would work in the past, she'd be waking up for Saturday just as I was going to sleep. And it was like saying goodbye to each other because she knew I wasn't going to wake up till like 3 p.m. So she was just going to, so she's waking up at 7 a.m. and I'm going to go to sleep at 8 and I'm not going to be back till 3 p.m. And she's just going to spend the whole day alone. No kids, no friends or family, just sitting in the house. Horrible. It's actually pretty remarkable we made it that long with that schedule. So we're doing a pretty normal schedule, and I do miss the feeling of the nighttime stream. There was a certain everyone's gone to bed feeling. It's a good feeling. But We'll just let other streamers fill that slot and probably get a lot of sales. Oh, well, I got to have some work-life balance in my life at some point, and I think this is it, you know. We did very good. We did 7 years, 7 years, so I'm pretty happy with that, and we're not actually stopping. So, all right, you've got 60 bucks left. Let me, is that, oh, hold on, we got to turn number lock on. There we go, we're off. So that's Jose Santos from October, tag 10, Jim Mod Champ Japanese, and it's down to $60. I bet that card has gone up a little bit for you since then, huh? Thanks so much, man. Now we have an order from Mr. Darwin Morales. Add to my store credit. Damn, this guy's just building up a huge store credit. You're scaring me. He's going to buy my whole card shop. It's Friday, and I wanted to show some love back. Only right. Oh, that's really cool, man. That's a nice thing, man. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's nice to be good to people. I think it's good for you as a human being to be nice to people. You could go the other way and get really jealous or selfish or charge prices that are too high. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like a clown. But no, my point is that, you know, it's if you want to get a little existential, none of this goes with you when you die. You don't keep your money, you don't keep your cards, you don't keep your Dragonites. So it's good to be nice to people from time to time. It's a good thing. And life isn't all just about working and then buying stuff for yourself. Sometimes it's about doing something for someone else. Sometimes it's about spending that money on a LA 10. I deserve an LA 10. Sometimes I deserve an LA 10. Let's go back over here to website orders. We might have an empty queue now. How far are we? We're an hour and a half in, and the queue is clear. So we've caught up to all the orders. So now there are no orders in the queue. And if you guys are looking for a short wait time to open up some cards, we've got a short wait time. Why don't we take a moment and add a booster pack to this here ta-da, jumbo pack break, which has not gone off. It's a really, really filled one. And I will add something to it. Let's see, what should we add? Maybe we add... Let's see, what do we got over here? I'm going to have one of these. So this is Matchless Fighters. I'm going to put a Matchless Fighters pack in there for free. So here's what's in here, besides the fact 2 people are in here. Here are all the booster packs. There's another Topps Naruto set from 2024, but it looks wonky. Oh, I didn't know that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's an expensive Naruto pack. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So this is 26 booster packs now. I think there's like 4 or 5 free ones in there. There we go. All right. Whoa. Okay. Beatrice and Sarah Dusenberry, just waiting on 2 other people. Of course, it's one of those breaks where one person takes all the cards, so be careful. Try not to get you too hyped up about it. Here is the other thing to work on right now. It's Topps. Sleeping is healthy. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with being able to go to sleep at the right time and wake up at a time that feels much healthier. This content isn't available right now. Why not? Because I had to hit refresh. What if that prismatic pack in the pack break has the SAR that was being chased? It would be shocking. I would feel very bad for Shahir. All right, so here's the current binder break. It's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got some filler cards. This is XY bulk. That's vintage, classic collection, Ivysaur, Doduo. So we're showing it off because I like people to see what's inside of it. I think this is a big draw for the round this time. Tyranitar, Charmeleon, Radiant Venusaur, that's a hit. Skarmory, that's a hit. We got some filler. This is a hit. This is a hit. This is a hit. This is a hit. Nah, this is a hit. This is sort of a hit. This is definitely a hit. Nice promo. This is a hit. This is a hit. This is a hit. Okay. Showing off more stuff. Wigglytuff. That's a hit. That's a hit. Here's Taruka. I think it's called Taruka. That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit. This is a hit. This is a hit. Here's a little Comfy. This is a little vintage. Charizard, Rayquaza. They're nice. That's a hit. Here's Kuromi. This is nice, but it's not really a hit. I think the Darkness Energy is, though. I think it's cool. Some XY Evolutions, Diglett Ghastly, Charmander Promo. That's a hit. Is there a card stuck to it? That's a nice Flareon. Some The Simpsons. All right, so there we go. That's the binder break. It's quite large. And we just keep adding cards with it to it until it goes off. All right. There we go. Oh, God, don't put that in my head. Now, let's see. Let's grab one of these little packets here. What do we have here? So we've got some of these vintage stickers. Here's a Pokemon Go Articuno and a Pokemon Go Slowbro. Nice. That's kind of nice. And these are the old Pokebreads. I'm just disassembling them. Throw, Elgium, Cryogonal, Caracasta. Wow. And it's all in English. Wow, that's cool. All right, there we go. So this is the next stack of cards that we're going to add to the binder break. All right. Let me show that off one more time before I make it disappear. So Pokemon Go, Throw, Elgium, Cryogonal, Caracasta. 4 ARs English from Pokemon Black and White. I don't know how much value that adds to the bag, but it adds some. There we go. We can fold these up. All right. And we'll toss this over here. We can get back to pricing slabs, too. We got to finish the F slabs and move on to the 9s and lower slab rotation. It's actually taken a long time. I guess I'm really busy in these streams. Okay, let's check over here. Tick. Scoobity-boo-ba-doo-doo. We do have a Nicholas Pacheco order. Hey, what's up, Nicholas? He says, add me to the binder break and the Squirtle gym break. Ooh, the Squirtle gym break. Forgot about that, gentlemen. Here it is. So we have somebody in the Squirtle gym break. If you'd like to join that, it'll go off instantly. Pacheco. All right. The gym breaks are popular because they only require 2 people. So they usually go off within like a day. It's like a coin toss for a card. You always could have just bought the Squirtle. You could have just bought him. He's only 40. But I think it's the idea of taking a half shot at it that's fun for people. They go, I want to take a half shot at something. It's fun. Mr. You're a great role model. You're my hero. What? What are you talking about, bro? Great role model. We are. All right. There we go. I feel like I don't feel like a great role model. You know what I feel like? I feel like some kind of stinky gamer or something like that. All right. Yeah. Can't wait. This content isn't available. Why isn't it working? This should be working. Let me refresh. My Hero Academia. That's right. I've never watched that. So here's some Minecraft for you guys. Now, the other part was the binder break. So the binder breaks up to 2 now. The binder breaks up to 2, everybody. So we got the jumbo pack break up to 2 with another free pack in there. And we got the binder break up to 2 with even more cards in there. That's pretty wild. Maybe we should have maybe we should add like a second place card to the binder break. Would that be interesting? That'd be interesting. Hey, what's up? Andy Dirksen. How many in the binder break? A total of 2 out of 4 people are in the binder break now. We just showed it off, and we just added, if you just arrived, we just added more stuff to it. So there's a point where you have to decide when you want to jump in because you're worried that it'll fill up too fast. Pokemon Go Articuno, Slowbro, Throw, Elgium, Cryogonal, Caracasta. So these were just added along with everything else that's already in there. All right. How many in the jumbo pack break? 2 people, and we just added another booster pack to that one as well. And there's 1 person in the Squirtle now, so the Squirtle's ready to go off. It looks like the Squirtle is done. So don't try to buy into the Squirtle. I think Mr. Gabriel just jumped in. LMAO, that was all luck. Man won 3 out of 4. He's the binder break Grim Reaper. Yeah, you know, when you play a video game and there's an RNG product the way that video game will actually be designed, there will be like, you'll have like a data structure for your character, your account, and the game will tick. It'll keep track, you'll sort all of the number of times that you got lucky. And what it'll actually do is it'll actually create like a rhythm for how many times you're allowed to win and how many times you're allowed to lose when it comes to RNG. So if you lose too much, it'll say, give this guy a win. If you win too much, it'll say, start letting this guy lose. So, you know, software is kind of, it's not fair. When it comes to RNG products, whether it be a slot machine or a loot box from a video game, they're unfair. Even these booster boxes over here are designed that way. So even this box over here is designed to not let you win too much and not let you lose too much. So that's how those are designed. A computer designs those ahead of time. What's curious about these breaks, they're true RNG. They're just pure luck, meaning you could win it 100 times in a row if you just got really lucky. I don't give anybody more or less luck each time it goes off. So if you're on a losing streak of 10 losses, you don't get extra luck. And if you're on a winning streak of 5 wins, you don't get any less luck. Each round is a refreshed new round. Software doesn't do that. You know, it's kind of curious the way that works. Software limits how many times you can truly hit. Okay, so Squirtle is going between Mr. Gabriel Gallegos and Nicholas Pacheco. No, Nicholas Pacheco. Is the binder break unwanted cards that people didn't want? Sort of. I mean, it's like a mix of all of my stuff. It's a mix of, you know, it's like a mix of cards that were abandoned from bags. It's a mix of some used cards, some mint cards. It's just, I got so much crazy stuff. I'm telling you, I got crazy stuff coming out of my ears. Did you see me carry away like 6 abandoned bags? Like, that could be the next 3 binder breaks if you combined it all. So I just got all these cards that have been building up for a very long time. Now, my idea for selling them was to put them in the Pokebrush, but nobody was buying the Pokebrush. You turn it into this binder break product, and all of a sudden, people are like, oh, that's awesome. So they find that that's more valuable than the Pokebrush. I think it's because with the Pokebrush, you didn't know what you were getting, and they were in really small increments, whereas the binder break's kind of like this giant jackpot, and you know exactly what you're getting. So it's interesting how when you tinker with the product, all of a sudden you found what people are looking for. It takes experimentation. All right, so here we go. We're having a 1v1, Nicholas and Gabriel. All right. So, like, we got some poker cards in there that definitely have a shot at a 10. We like that Dragon Ball promo. He's got a shot at a 10. You saw, like, that Korean Snorlax AR, the Venusaur AR, and the Charmeleon AR. Those definitely have a shot at a 10. They're probably all 10s, actually. And then there's some cards that are definitely not a 10. Like, there's a Poliwrath poker card that's used. So that definitely doesn't have a chance at a 10. The Aeron Holland Phantoms Reverse Hollow, that does not have a chance at a 10. In fact, a lot of the vintage doesn't have a chance. So, you know, that's just kind of how it works. We call it the binder break because it's all ungraded stuff. And some of it, you know, you might pluck out a handful of 10s, but most of it's not going to be 10s. And it's something you can collect and put into your binder. That's why we call it the binder break. You also have an option for pack fresh cards coming out of the jumbo pack break. So if you want pack fresh cards, head over to the jumbo pack break. All right. So what do we got? We've got Rapidash. Ooh, that's not going to be good, Nicholas. Here's Energy. Skeledirge, you don't even need the energy card. All right, Skeledirge sweeps round 1. Round 2, we've got Fui Coco. Oh, my Jesus, you're just getting tough ones. Double Skeledirge! Oh, my God. All right. I find it funny that it's actually Fui Coco on the other side, too. So Fui Coco is not going to be double Skeledirge. That's going to be Gabriel Gallegos' turn. I mean, what were the odds of that? I think the Poke Gods have decided that this Squirtle should go to Gabriel Gallegos. There's no question about it, Mr. Nicholas. Today was your day to be sacrificed. What the hell? He got the best card in the deck is the Skeledirge. So him pulling it twice is nuts. By the way, did you guys know? So that's called deck number 2, and this is deck number 3. And the way this works, if you ever want me to use deck number 3, everyone has to start donating stuff to it. You can donate like crap to it that you don't want, maybe like a holographic, maybe a V card, whatever. But we put your name on it. See, Nicholas Pacheco. Austin Albert. We put your name on it, and then we put it in the box, and then over time, this becomes the deck. And then eventually we play the deck. So deck number 2 has been played for a long time. If you want a little more excitement, just try plucking out a card you think isn't going to grade 10 or a card you don't want. Some people like to donate a nicer card for sort of like the... they like to donate a nicer card just to make it cooler. So who was it that donated those Skeledirge? Tyler McCanch and Phil Vasquez donated these guys. Look at that. Isn't that fun? They ended up being the most fun card to pull out of the deck. It's like the Skeledirge deck, isn't it? That's the Skeledirge deck. So you can help build deck 3 with your favorite Pokemon or with like joke Pokemon like the Clamperl. 2 Clamperls were donated. Isn't that funny? So that's how that works. I'm letting you know that. All right, so that's been advertised. So let me go ahead and give this card to Mr. Gabriel. Congratulations. Our music stopped again. What is going on with the music? Let's go over here. Content not available right now. I swear my computer's breaking right now. Oh my gosh, like what needs to happen? Does my computer need to be reset? Does the internet need to be reset? It's like breaking. All right. Mr. Gabriel. Nice job, man. So I suppose we're supposed to pick out another card, aren't we? Could be Raticate. Could be this classic Rattata. Could be Regirock. He's kind of cool. Lily's kind of expensive. Could be Slowpoke. I'll do Slowpoke for 40. We just did the Squirtle. So he's supposed to sell for 45. But I'll do 20. 2 spots. Just to help him see a new home. Because I got more of these Slowpokes to grade, actually. All right. Thank you, Gabriel. Why don't we go ahead and hand out a spot onto this? Cody Hodges, you made it on. There we go. Number 2. Who should number 2 be? Jump in the buy to break, boys and girls. How do I buy one? Says Maximo. Hey, what's up, Maximo? Maximo, there's 2 ways to buy. You can go to the description of the live stream where you'll find my PayPal link, my Zelle link, and just use one of those to buy cards direct. You'll just leave a note when you buy. The other option is to use the website where you can search for things you want to buy on the website or use custom payment to send money for the things you want to buy. That's an option on the website. It's called custom payment. So there's multiple ways to purchase. It all works, okay? All of it works. All of it sends me an email, and then I open that email, and the email puts you into the queue. Mr. How's the trade break? Yo, so the trade break's real close. Let's see. Here it is. You can buy in for $5 or trade some holographic cards away to get into the trade break. Someone's going to pull this nice little Iona 9. All right. She's kind of a nice card. Jimmy Therese is next. He says 1 junk pack from 5 Korean Rocket. So here are the junk packs. And 5 Korean Rocket. Korean Rocket. It's weird that the junk packs are so popular, but people just like it. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Korean Rocket is a top seller. We sold over a case of it. There it is. So Korean cards do sell. People enjoy opening cards for a fraction of their price. The trade break is done, so that means we'll be picking a new trade break in a minute. So, by the way, we're thinking of running 2 trade breaks here in the near future. One of them will be the large trade break, and the other one will be the small trade break. So, we're currently finishing the small trade break. Ooh, Clamperl, look at that. Oops, I sent in for the trade break. I'm sorry. So, one of you guys is not getting it. We'll see who ordered first real fast. It's the tree. You got the tree. Why is this Pokemon even in Glory of Team Rocket? And why does Ascended Heroes and Mega Dream have a bunch of Rocket cards? Come on, Pokemon. Pokemon said, we'll make 2 Rocket sets. Gee whiz, dude. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it. All right, that was for Jimmy with the JI. Where's my JI box? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. It's with the S's. What the hell? The JI box was in the wrong place. That's so weird. Why did I do that? Now, let's take a look at your junk pack. Here it is. The junk packs. So, here's a Taruka. Like, I don't know what you do with this card. It's cool on the back. Here's some poker cards. Snoopy. Here's Absol. And some grill cards. It is junk. That's the name of them. They're called junk packs. And that's what you receive as junk. And people like it. They say, I want some junk. Give me some junk. There we go. I can't decide whether to add better hits into the junk packs and raise their price to $4 or remove even more of the quality cards, like measure them into being truly junk and lower their price to $2. You know, you can go either way. Maybe what we have now is working really well at $3. What do we have here? We have Mr. Jaded. He sends in $5 for the trade break. I think that was you. You don't got to apologize. He says, oop, I just sent for it. It was you. You were the one who finished it. Dude, my music's messing up. I don't know what to do about it. Maybe we get a new, let's open a new window and head over here. So I play the music, but then it like breaks. The content isn't available. Try again later. Let me hit refresh. Something's going wrong with my computer. My computer needs resetting. Yeah, my computer needs resetting. That's too bad. We're in the middle of the stream, so I can't do it now. Mr. Jaded, I'm putting you in there. Let's find out who walks away with the trade break. Trades. People like them. I think that's really cool. If it helps you get some cards out of your bag that you don't like, that's a good thing. Because now you don't have to have them sit in a corner of your house for the rest of your life. Or now you're not tasked with selling them on eBay one at a time or with the white envelope and a stamp or whatever it is you planned on doing. You can just trade them into a break and see if you get lucky. Somebody's about to get lucky. Trade breaks are very easy. The card that you own is your actual energy card. You're buying a $5 energy card or trading for it with your name on it. Let's find out who pulls this. You ready? So, YouTube is hiding you being live again, says PDX. You think so? Maybe we talk about too adult of stuff. We are. So you're saying you had to go looking for me? Is that right? How about any of you guys? Did you guys have to go looking for the stream? All right. That's too bad. I know we talk about like adult stuff in the stream. Jacob Chickering says yes. Shahir says no. That's very interesting. I still feel like they aren't releasing all the Epstein files. See, like we're talking about the Epstein files, whereas other Pokemon card shops are not. And so maybe I'm D-ranked because of that. But I want to talk about the Epstein files. It's fun. That's the fun of it. So I don't know. Give me a number. Oh, looks like we did get a number 2 from Jacob Chickering. 1, 2. All right, this is it. Tyler Ferbert. Hey, that's the new guy. Mr. Tyler pulls it. Congratulations, Tyler. I don't know if he was there to watch it. Sometimes I get the notification late. Yeah, it's YouTube. The you-know-who files. The he who should not be named files. All right. There are the other names. Thank you, everybody. There we go. So, now, I'm going to do this real fast. Good games. I'm going to jump over here. And we're going to go into the Breaks History channel. Because we need to tell everyone that this finished. Trade break, Iona 9. And his name was Tyler Ferbert. 104 minutes. There we go. So we are going to probably start not 1, but 2 trade breaks. 2 trade breaks. The goal is to incentivize different kinds of trades. And so we've already tried out a type of trade break where it's sort of a junkie 9 or a junkie 8 or a junkie anything. Now we want to try a trade break where it's an expensive slab as well, but you can only, well, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. We'll call it a trade slab. So the next trade break shall be, I'm just curious what happens. Do people gain an interest in trading? They probably do. Ooh, is this guy really only 30? No, that's not correct. That side is more expensive than that. You got to be quicker than that. That's $36. This is the new trade card, Raikou. Damn, that's cool. All right. Raikou from 2019 is only $36. Damn, bro. So we're going to do $5 each. The way it kind of works, by the way, these are sort of the unwritten rules about the trade break. The junkier the card is, the more I don't care if I'm getting $5 out of the trade. But when the cards are genuinely really nice, like this guy, I do want $5 worth of cards because I feel he would have sold for cash quite easily. So that's how it really works. Those are the unwritten rules. You don't see it happening, but basically, this guy's got to go for 35 for real. Whereas if it's some card, we're just getting rid of it. You could trade me some junk, and I'll be like, you can just have this slab. You know what I mean? So this is a 10. Really nice legendary card, Raikou Hollow, and it is from Tag Team All-Stars from 2019. We'll just call this Trade 1. So we're calling that Trade 1. We're going to have 2 trade cards. Okay, we're going to have to find maybe like Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers Brawl Complete. We're going to find the complete OST for Smash Brothers. Complete history. No, we want the OST. So our computer is doing a problem where it doesn't autoplay the music anymore. So we're going to find... Here's the full Nintendo 64 soundtrack. Okay, now we hit refresh on this, and now it's going to work. I was trying to cop that Raikou next paycheck. Should I hold him? You want me to hold him? He's really good. Yeah, I feel like he doesn't need any help selling. So my next goal is to have an expensive trade card. Okay, so give me a moment. I don't know what that's going to look like. Let's see. Maybe out of the expensive box over here. Maybe this Tentacruel, that would be neat. So Topps cards. People are talking about the Topps cards. It is possible that we are getting... There we go. It is possible we are getting a new Topps set because there was a picture of the voice actor for Ash Ketchum signing a bunch of signature stickers that looked suspicious. This is too loud. It looks suspiciously similar to Topps card signatures. So now everyone's speculating there's a new Topps set coming out, but we don't know for sure. Maybe Pokemon's releasing a set where they have her signature. Could that be possible? That would be pretty exciting. All right, we have Trade 1 and Trade 2. Trade 2 needs to go for $240. And this is an experiment. I don't think we should ask for like 40. Let's ask for $20 at a time, maybe. That should compute 12 spots. There it is. So these are 2 separate breaks now. Trade 1 and Trade 2. You have to define which one you want. This one's just for $5 small trades. This is actually for much larger $20 trades. These are trade slabs. Fascinating. You still have Naruto Topps left. Yes, sir. In fact, we have a big restock coming as well. Naruto. It's been very popular. Mr. Chad is handing out a free Naruto pack. Very nice. Might be on delay, but up to you, mister. You can choose and let me know. Well, we always have more cards available. I kind of wanted to see if that Raikou inspires people to trade anything. I'm really trying to like practice trading, you know. I'm trying to get good at it. All right. What time is it? It's 12:51. We've been live for 2 hours. Where does the time go, man? That's crazy. Let's go ahead and hand out another spot over here. Mr. Aelvik. You interested in my Topps base hollows I showed you a couple days ago? Topps base hollows. Probably not. If they were graded, yes, I would be very interested. But ungraded, probably not. That's because Topps cards are heavily defined by their grading quality, as it turns out. And so it's just nearly impossible to get 10s on those, and that's where all the money is for Topps cards. So what you could do is you could grade them, see where it goes, and then reach back out and ask me for a lot of money. Just be like, hey, these got 10s. I want a lot of money for them. And I would really seriously look at them. I'd say, oh, okay, you got some 10 Topps cards. Maybe I'll buy some 10s off you. But as for the commons, I mean, not the commons, as for the raw cards, I could make you an offer, but it's going to be it's going to feel like a low ball offer. And that's because I know that there's always this wrong perception about them until they are graded. So I didn't source them personally. I haven't looked them over hand by hand, you know. Like we put Topps cards in the binder break, but a lot of those are like top quality cards. I would need to see them in person. And I suspect they probably are not in the best shape. All right. So, I mean, I could probably do something. I could put them in junk packs. So we can always do that with them. We can put them in junk packs. Is there more orders? It looks like there's not. Let me see. The queue is empty for just a moment. But, you know, it tends to fill back up pretty fast, especially on a Friday. Actually, here we have a Nicholas Pacheco order. He says he'd like one Topps Naruto. Here goes, Nicholas Pacheco. Good luck. We're still looking for that 1 of 1 in the Narutos. The Narutos ended up being a big deal. All right. Very good. What? We just did. We just did. We just pulled a 1 of 1. I'm not surprised. But you know what? The market's going to treat this like it's worth a lot of money. We just pulled a 1 of 1. It's called the End of Tears. Nicholas Pacheco. He's been opening a lot of these. Here's my suspicion, guys. This will not be the first 1 of 1 we pull. I think that this top set was short printed. It's only hitting out of 5, out of 10, out of 25. And now we've pulled our first out of 1. This is some very good product. This is some very good product because we have on our hands some Topps Naruto that's been short printed. And so it's handing out 1s easily. And when people look back on that, they're going to wish they had a 1 of 1. There we go. How cool, man. Holy, I need to grade that. $800 to $1,000 easy, says Aelvik. Look at that. I'd be happy to send that off to grade for you if you wish. Or you can have me send it home to you and you can grade it, whatever you wish. But that is super cool. Minato Namikaze. Here's Naruto with his tongue out. Wow, that's a clip for sure, man. A 1 of 1. How many Topps 1 of 1s have we ever pulled? Is that our first Topps 1 of 1? I think it is. Gamabunta. I think that's our first 1 of 1 on the channel. We've pulled a number of 1 out of 5s. But I don't think we've ever pulled. So we've pulled a soccer 1 of 1. But I don't think that was Topps, was it? Was that Topps? No, it was a different company. So that's our very first 1 of 1 Topps card. Those commons are good too. There they are. Yeah, you might be able to make your money back on a booster pack. Even if you get a cold pack, you might be able to make your money back just doing stuff with the commons. Art cards are 1 of 1. Yeah, but that's not the same. That's not the same. There we go. No point in grading a 1 of 1. Art cards are 1 of 1. There we go. I drew some art cards last night. If you guys saw that in Discord, what'd you guys think of that? You think they were goofy? The End of Tears. Hard to price my CGC 10 Topps Pikachu 3rd print silver foil with teardrops. Ooh. All right, so I need to clip this for Mike's side. I think is Mike's side here? I don't know if he's here. Boy, this room's getting so warm, guys. It's warming up out there. Feels like it's already springtime where I'm living. I'm already missing the winter. Bring back the winter. So we're jumping over here to the Stream Clips channel. Here it is. Pulled one of one Naruto, Nicholas Pacheco. This occurred at 125 minutes. Does every card in the set have a 1 of 1? Yeah, that's most likely how it works. So most likely each artwork has a 1 of 1, and then a 5 of 5, and then a 10 of 10, and a 25 of 25. Now, when it comes to really large top sets where they printed it a lot, it goes all the way up to like 200, and then 300, and then even all the way up to 500. So those sets have been printed a lot. My suspicion is this Naruto set was just an exclusive, short printed set. They said, we're only going to print this much. And so they didn't need to do out of 200 and out of 300. They weren't going to print that much. So it only went up to 120. It only went up to out of 25. That's all it did. So the world's going to run out of this product real fast. Now, I don't want to say that to give you a bunch of FOMO, because they might print a new Naruto set tomorrow, okay? That's the way it really works. Tomorrow, they might say, ooh, that first Naruto set did well. Get another set. So they might print a new set with new artworks down the road. But this artwork is handing out 1-of-1s, and those are just always going to do well. And people who don't understand, like that it was short printed and all that, or maybe they do understand it. Either way, they won't care. They'll say, that's a 1-of-1. I want it. I'll pay good money for it. So we got a good product on our hands. All right. Very cool, man. Don't they deserve a bounty spot? You deserve like 3 bounties. You're getting 5. Nah, let's give him 3. He's got to have like 3. Pulling a 1-of-1's got to be considered special. Here we go. That's got to be considered special. That's wild stuff. Okay. Will it drop over time? Who knows? Yeah, I mean, if they, I don't think so. I don't think that'll drop. I think what he just pulled is a very good collectible. In the true sense of the word collectible. English Naruto 1-of-1. So that was a very good moment on our stream. That's the first time we pulled the Topps 1-of-1. How cool is that, everybody? It's a little bit like TCC history right now. Hey, well, a special day on 2026 February 13th, Friday the 13th. Ooh, spooky. I like the art. It's not an ugly man. I'm still shook. What an amazing set. Yeah, that was really cool. Who was it that suggested it to me? I remember I gave him $40 right away. Remember that? Because I immediately in my gut, I sensed we had just stumbled upon something decent. And so I said, give that guy $40. And he got something with that $40, didn't he? He opened something and pulled a hit with it, didn't he? So that was a good thing for him. I think it might have been in the donation pack if it hadn't been hid soon. Oh, there he goes. Ooh, look at that. Trade 1 and Trade 2. Check that out, guys. We're changing the way the trades operate. Now you have 2 options. You can try to trade $5 in or trade $20 in. Of course, this is just a regular break, too. You can just jump in there if you wish. Mr. ordered a Naruto pack. Did you get my order to add to my store credit? I got an order from Darwin Morales, and that says 550. Your name's Jack. Are you Darwin Morales? Let's see. Mr. Edward Cornelio says he'll also try a Naruto pack. You got it, man. All right. Yeah, I mean, even if you don't pull a 1-of-1, just being able to pull like a 5 of 5, it's insanely good. That's just getting a 1 out of 5 is extremely good. And you're going to pull, you're also getting something. You're getting Rock Lee and Gaara, 18 out of 25. Wow. Look at this, Rock Lee and Gaara. Okay. We'll pop this in here. Then we got Hinata, Asuma, Jiraiya, a Shirker, Brishy Brow, Hidden Leaf Village. Ooh. Okay, very lovely. Thank you, Mr. Edward. So we're just pulling people great stuff right now. I love it when we find something that's handing value out. All right. Going to take care of my shipping mountain today, mister. Going to be nice to not have it in the middle floor in my office. Sounds good, man. So you weren't here when we did this, Edward, but you got a box now. Yay, the Edward box. You got an Edward box because you got so much stuff. There we go. So now it's easier to find stuff. There we go. Mister, you need to shuffle the packs. As 2 numbered packs per box are kind of easy to snipe if counting. That is definitely not true. That's definitely not true. I don't know if somebody said that. That is superstition. That is speculation. We have officially opened like 10 boxes of this. I know it doesn't look like it, but we have. And I have definitely ran into boxes where it's like 4 hollow packs and 1 non-hollow pack. So that is confirmed. So somebody else has probably opened them and said there's only 2 in a box. They probably found a box with only 2 packs in there. Actually, it looks like right now I have to go grab more of them. So there's probably been people who have experienced that, and maybe they experienced it consistently. I have definitely opened up more than 2 hollows in a row from 1 box for sure. And but we've also opened cold packs in a row too. So it does seem to be random, but it does make sense that it's randomized that way. Of course, maybe we got lucky. Maybe it was like an error or maybe not an error. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they have like a set rule on it. Like if they list it on the box and say it says 2 hollows only per box. But no, we've definitely had better rounds than that. I've pulled like so many numbers. I've got to be honest. I think it's more than 2. Your bags have their own box now. Your bags have their own box. You got a box. I believe it says on the box, I believe so. Maybe hot boxes. Yeah, it has to be like an error then, because we've definitely got, because I was actually paying attention to that. When I open up cards for people, I love sort of looking at the odds just because it's an interesting thing for me. And so I do it passively. And I noted we were opening some packs and we got more than 2 hollows in a row. And I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. The pull rate on these is great. And so maybe they say that on the box, but they definitely didn't actually get that to happen in the manufacturing. All right, so what else we got? It looks like we got an empty queue. Let's talk about some of the stuff. We got this binder break with 2 spots. I'm sorry, the jumbo pack break with 2 spots in it. Another free pack in there today. We got the binder break with more cards in here. It got larger. There's 2 people in here now. And the new cards went to the front this time. Pokemon Go Articuno, Slowbro, Throw, Elgium, Cryogonal, and Caracosta are all in there now. It's pretty good. So that just received a chunk of cards. Oops, we got to put this back. 2 new trade breaks. They're pretty weird. The trade breaks. Trade me your cards that you do not want. For this one, you need to trade about $20 worth of cards. It's a new idea. I don't know if it'll work. And here's a Raikou. You can trade $5 worth of cards, especially junk cards. So that works. Here's a new gym break, the Slowpoke. And we still have the McDonald's Riolu. So the gym breaks tend to just be like a cheap, fun little thing. We have the Mr. Chad giveaway. We're past the 2-hour mark. What time is it? 1:04? What time did we start this? At 10:45? I want them to do a Naruto Shippuden top sets now. Slabs are kept separate from bags. That's right. Mister, what slabs are in my box? Yeah, so the slabs are kept in the shipping area. Overview, 8 cards per pack, 5 per pack per box, 2 numbered parallels per box, 1 in 4 boxes, Power Arc, 1 in 8 boxes, Chibi Art, 1 per 8 boxes, Relic. 2 numbered parallels per box. That's very interesting. We've definitely pulled more than 2 hollows, though, right? Like, you guys have seen it. I'm pretty sure you could just record us opening packs, and you can see we pulled more than 2 hollows in a row. I want them to do a Naruto Shippuden top set now. Chad, slabs are kept separate from bags. Let's see. Let me get a bounty spot, says Mr. Edward Cornelio. Mr. Edward Cornelio, who just put, yes, here you go. Very nice. Who just pulled a hollow. Here you go. Oh. All right, let's go into the bounty slab. How you guys doing on this fine Friday? You guys ready to have some fun for Friday? Do you guys have any plans? I don't have any plans. I think my only plan is to get some outdoor exercise. Oh yeah, the Mickey Mouse slab. 1935 vintage Mickey Mouse bubblegum. $20 buy-in. You can see we need 4 people for this to activate. For $20, you might be walking away with this beautiful Mickey Mouse card. This historically rare Mickey Mouse card. Yes, it's so old, it's like a piece of history. Pretty strange. Let's go grab some slabs to price up. I have some cards that might get me on the Raikou trade break. Nice. Well, I mean, for the small break, trade number 1, you can trade anything you want to get in there. But what's fun about it also is that it really is a pretty cheap break. It's not like you can just trade in junk haulers. So this is it. These are the last 3 slabs from the Z box. We're ready to rotate into the 9s. The 9s and lower box, which is good news because it is huge. All right, so we could do a rematch on this if people want. This will be one more gym break. This one just went off. It's the Squirtle gym break. Yes, I've seen since yesterday. It was 2 hits that I missed. Chad got a pack, then 2 hits again. I have some cards that might get me on the Raikou break. I pulled a 25 right after another 2 pulled a number as well. Both times back-to-back. Here's Whitney Houston. Ooh, very nice. So this Whitney is 340. Is that accurate? Where did I even get? Oh my gosh, look at that. See that old sticker? That means that I actually personally encapsulated this one a long time ago. Its number is only 858. Wow, that's really old. How clean is it? Let's see how good it looks. Let's get the old duster out. You ready? All right, so this is Whitney from Lost Thunder. And let's get a zoom. Looks pretty dang clean, actually. You know what? It's so clean, it almost looks like you should have gotten a pristine. Gosh, maybe I should crack this and regrade it. We handed a gem mint out to it, and it's kind of sad because it probably won't sell for as much money as a TCC gem mint. Back then, we didn't have a pristine grade, but I might have handed a pristine out to this one if I had a pristine grade by then. What a beautiful card. I really don't want to crack it, though. I can't stand to crack my own slabs. It makes me sad. This is a really nice card. I think we might have to just save that card as part of the TCC collection. Let's see. Where's my sleeves? Here they are. Did you guys know we have a jumbo slab as well that never went off? How would you go about pricing that Pop 5 CGC 10 Topps Pikachu I mentioned earlier? You have a Pop 5. Well, you know, the thing is about Topps cards, they're all kind of like Pop 5, right? Like that Tentacruel you saw is only Pop 9, and that's with PSA. And that's across all different populations. Whereas, you know, with CGC, they actually do divide them by their print run. So, I don't know. I couldn't tell you what I do with it. I'd probably just... You can put it in an auction. The auction will tell you what it's worth in a certain way. Look at that centering on the label, the sizing of the letters there. Wow, this is encapsulated so nicely. All right, cool, man. All right. I'm going to set this in here with the other Cardconomist slabs I've acquired over time. You guys want to see my Cardconomist collection? Let me show you my Cardconomist collection. We keep it here in the TCC vault, right? PSA's got a vault. We got the TCC vault. We really ought to have like a vaulting option. Wouldn't that be funny? Okay, you ready? Look at that. So we gave this a 10 a really long time ago. Its number is just 773. Yeah, it really looks like it could be a 10. That's crazy. Wow. Here's Cubone Jungle. Whitney. We're keeping Whitney. Starmie. I missed this, you know. Oh, look at this square cut Ampharos. I have no way to add more TCC cards in here because people aren't really grading with Cardconomist anymore because we took it away. But I bought these off of eBay, or people traded them back to me, or Abandon them is another way we obtain some of them. Here's DP's Chansey. Look at that. Isn't that fun? This is how gym battles used to work. You know, we got the gym breaks. This is how they used to work. You would have a Pokemon like this, Chansey, DP's Chansey. You'd have a win-loss. And then when you reached enough, when you reached 100 gym battles, we'd tell you your kill-death ratio, and you would get this card encapsulated. That's how it used to work. See, this is why people used to do the gym breaks. They were really popular back in the day, actually. We don't do that anymore. It seems like people don't want the scorecard. There's no interest in the scorecard. So this is how it used to work. It was cool stuff. Dark Gyarados. Look at that. Now, we tried to do gym badges, and that was kind of popular. Wow. Radiant Charizard. Cloud of Darkness. More like Cloud of Boobies, huh? Where's my sleeve? I would just hang on to it and see if there's a new top set coming out. Surely the inventory is at a couple mil now. It says XCGT. Yeah. I don't know about a couple million, but probably at least $1 million. That was my goal, was to invest in $1 million of Pokemon, and I guess I hit my goal. I don't know how to feel about it. I made that, I made that video of my sandals. Did you guys watch that video? I posted it recently. And I didn't graduate from school till I was about 28. And Kirsten and I really didn't have any money because we were just trying to dig ourselves out of having no money. We didn't have any money till like 2 years after graduating. Then we had a little bit of money. And so to go from that to having like maybe $1 million of Pokemon, it's pretty astounding. It's like an identity change. I don't really know how to deal with it. Here it is. It feels dangerous. That's how it feels. It feels like a like the rise before a fall. Like now I'm ready for something to go wrong and for there to be a catastrophe. You know what else needs to join the Cardconomist collection? This Machop. Hello, Machop. He's joining. Do you own any Pikachu Illustrator Pokemon? Mister, what should I start streaming for video games? I'm trying to build up something. Hey, that's a great question. Well, I worked on Minecraft and Mass Effect 3 multiplayer and Dark Souls before I started streaming Monster Hunter World. Not streaming, but making guides. So I started working very hard in making guides for Monster Hunter World, and it was at that point that I found success. And part of the trick to that was nobody was servicing that community. It was kind of a new thing, right? Like Monster Hunter had a community, but it had always been sort of like, it wasn't as big as it had ever been until it actually reached Monster Hunter World on all the main consoles. It had been sort of like a Nintendo thing and sometimes a PlayStation thing, and that's it. So when Monster Hunter World comes out, it's a surprise hit. Everyone's playing it, and I'm one of the guys making guides for it. So that's what worked for me. So maybe that information helps you out a little bit. This is an early stage in our label process. See? Early stage. This was the first thing we ever encapsulated. So this is actually the very first card we ever encapsulated. This was before we could encapsulate cards. I drew this Your Mom card, first edition. You can see I'm pretty vulgar. When I get to doodle things, I'm pretty vulgar. I actually drew 2 cards last night. Do you guys want to see them? They're pretty weird. But yeah, I just kind of draw weird stuff, I guess. 69, Your Mom, first edition. It felt so good actually encapsulating this. Oh, look at that. Another Gyarados? How many of these did I have? What? So this card was encapsulated multiple times. Wow. Look at that. The labels are different. I call this one an ancient trait card. Whereas well, I might have done both. No. Mr. John might have done this. I can't tell who did this one. Wow, and once again, it looks nice and clean, too. Oh, that's excellent. Look at that. How did you figure out how to make labels? It was a lot of work. It was really difficult. And it's kind of a secret. Here it is. That's what the companies don't teach you how to do. They don't teach you how to make labels. So it's actually pretty hard to do. We are. All right. I could probably sell a course on how to do this. Look at this. Joseph Albrecht. That's Joey Albrecht. If you take a look, he's got a Charizard in Slab away for $8,000. That's Dark Charizard first edition. Well, he pulled out a year slab away for that one, and I sold it to him at 8K, which was at the time a lot of money because the previous price on him was like 6K or something like that. I don't remember. So it was a red label sale, and he says, okay, I'll do it. So he locked in that card at $8,000. Well, Dark Charizard today is a $19,000 card. He just sold for like $19,000. So, and I've helped Joey Albrecht do that with a couple cards. Pretty cool, right? It's kind of like doing a loan, and, you know, we're both gambling a little bit, but the loan has worked out. The gamble has worked out. So I'm helping some people leverage money to obtain certain cards. Helping to pull one of those. I just helped a guy put a Gengar Pikachu away. Here's Dragonite, Articuno. Look at this. This is one of the very earliest cards I bought back from my own group. Boba Fett Star Wars Topps. The number on it is 102. Because, look, Casey Fjellstedt sold it to me in 2021. So that was the second card we ever encapsulated. We didn't start the encapsulations at 1. We started them at 100. Espeon, Alakazam. This is pretty cool, though, isn't it? Look at that. Wow. I'm glad to have preserved some of these because I'm pretty sure people have probably, look at that, that's the Ranover Iron Crown. I'm pretty sure people have probably just cracked a lot of these and regraded them, which makes me sad. So I've held, look at that, that's an English Charizard. So I've held some of these for a very long time. Look at that Rayquaza. This was so cheap back in the day. This was not expensive back in the day. I mean, they were a little bit expensive, but they weren't like mega expensive. Look at the timing on this. The numbers are 253 and 254, which means by this point, this was the 153rd card I ever encapsulated, and this was the 154th card I ever encapsulated. And that means I encapsulated these by hand, and it just looks absolutely beautiful on the back. It looks fantastic. Roronoa Zoro, I believe this is Romance Dawn, the first print wave. All right, we're all done looking at this. I'm just having a bit of fun. This is from Miss Jennifer Yap. Look at that. Sure, a little Tyranitar. Here's Galarian Moltres. Ah, woman. Have some Bud Light. One of one. Woman. So here is yet another example of my vulgar drawing style. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with me. Here's Diglett. That's the biggest Diglett. Oh, yeah, these two cards got 9s, and I bought them back from the guy. He offered to sell them back to me. These were from our actual breaks, and he didn't want them, so he's like, I'll sell them to you. He should have kept them. I mean, the 9s went way up in value over time. He should have kept them. Mr. Check messages, please. All right. Do you guys want to see some of my recent drawings? I just drew some fresh cards because, you know, Karis has been drawing, and you know, I've drawn cards before. I just don't do it very often. It's pretty rare to get me to draw cards. So, but she's been doing it a bit more often, and I was thinking maybe I should get back into it and get, because I have no drawings on the table to sell to anybody, and I feel like it is kind of fun. It's like a cultural thing to have some cards that you personally drew. Here we are. All right. Let's see. We'll grab this over here. All right. I'll go grab them. You guys can judge them, okay? Whoa, man, that door closes so fast. Ugh. All right, check it out. So we got 2 TCC drawings. You guys can judge them. So I'm still basically drawing vulgar things. Here's Diglett. 3 different Digletts. And then this is Mega Gay Magnemite. So this guy's normal. Look at his charges. Plus and minus, minus and plus. But look at this guy, plus, plus, minus, minus. And the straight Magnemite is looking at the gay Magnemite, and he's kind of angry about it. He disapproves. So there's my 2 drawings. There you go. What do you think? All right, let's see. You like Quip's drawings? All right. It was kind of funny going through those TCC slabs because it kind of reminded me I was always sort of drawing things that were just sort of inappropriate. Let's grab this. Miss Kayla. She says, Raikou trade break spot. Okay. Very nice. Liberal arts Magnemite. Yeah. There's no statement being made here. It's just sort of like, you know, it's like the tension in real life almost. You know what I mean? There we go. There's always some sort of tension. Here's Kayla Taylor. Hey, you're gay? What are the smaller Diglets so scared? Well, you have to interpret it this correctly. So notice this Diglett, he's just kind of a shy guy. He's kind of nervous. See the little dashes around him? So he's almost like shaking. He's a really small Diglett. Now this Diglett's a little bit bigger. He's not really as scared as this guy, but he's still looking up at this guy, the Chad Diglett with the sunglasses. Now this Diglett's just hanging out, feeling cool. He's very confident, and all the girls find him so funny. He's just so funny. He has a great personality. All right, this goes into the Raikou. All right, the Raikou is off. I'm back. What's up, Mr. Faz? I'm your biggest fan. Magnazest. Yeah. Yeah, with the charges on the gay Magnemite, it's plus plus and minus minus. There we go. I'm not a very good... You can tell I don't draw very well. And I noticed when I was drawing, I noticed my brain didn't just want to draw like an image. It wanted to draw like an idea. You know, my brain wants to say something. It wants to talk about something. Like something that's going on in society, right? Like the 6-foot-tall guy or whatever. Or maybe a guy with a tiny Diglett, you know, being not so great. Here's Kyle Summers towards tag 10, Sylveon. You got it. Kyle Summers. Let me go take care of that for you. Yes, Slab Away. Slab Away is very popular. All right, Kyle Summers, this shall move down to 121. Boom. Is that a new Squirtle? That's a brand new Squirtle. It's round number 2. Mr. Crazy asked you to check messages. All right, let's see. We're checking messages. I don't see a message from you unless you're Cloud. Hold on. Are you Mr. Cloudy? Let me look. Let's see. Okay, maybe you're Mr. Cloudy. I'm going to leave that unread for now. Okay, I'll read that a little bit later. Okay. We'll jump over there. Let's see. I feel like I'm a Chad Diglett, but my wife would say I'm the shy one. Yeah, tale of 3 Diglets. Notably, even the sun is a Diglett, so all the faces in the drawing have to be a Diglett. All right, so there you go. What do you guys think of that? Was that a bit of fun? I don't know if I'll encapsulate and put those up for sale, but I was just practicing last night, and it made me really question, what do I want to draw? You know, like, what's the point of drawing? Here's Mr. Jaded. Like, what should be my... Like, I guess artists have, like, a style, right? And all I'm doing is just putting some stuff down onto a card with Sharpie markers. And it's almost... it's in the style of a cartoon, almost, like a comic strip cartoon. And I realize I enjoy that, but I don't know if that's what I'm going for. I don't know if, like, maybe we should just draw, like, cards that look really good or cool cards or, you know what I mean? I don't really know what my goal is when it comes to drawing. Your goal can be to make something that sells, for example. That's what a lot of musical artists go through. That Magnemite drawing is zesty. Let's see. I'm back. Put me in the Raikou. All right. We'll jump over here. Mr. Jaded. He says, 1 entry for the Squirtle. You got it, Mr. Jaded. So when it evolves to Dugtrio with all 3 heads, will all 3 heads be big? That is a great question. I don't know, actually. Here we go. Have you ever seen the Medua sketches? Yeah, he draws... Oh, wait. This is the same thing, isn't it? That's so weird. We already fulfilled this. So I guess we clicked on it and we refreshed and it was still available. That's so weird that happened. All right, so you're in there and we're waiting for one person to join. Very nice. We're going to refresh over here. We have an order from Mr. Nicholas Pacheco, and he's going to say Put me in that squirrel gym break. All right. So Nicholas Pacheco, round 2. You know, it's funny, Nicholas, is you could have just bought him out right at that point. I've yet to win a 2-2 gym break. So if anyone wants 20 bucks, you'll most likely win. Oh my God. All right, Mr. Nicholas Pacheco. We'll put you on this side. Yeah, I've seen the Maduro sketches, and those go for a lot of money, dude. Which kind of shows you that the idea of selling art, like hand-drawn art, is still alive. I think you have to be really good at it. Like, let's see, let's grab that deck. Maybe in theory, there's some drawing style of mine that's super successful or something, or super memorable. All right. By the way, I saw the Gengars that Karis was drawing. She's already drawing a really good Gengar. I saw it. She drew a really cool one, but she drew it too large. She drew it in her sketch notepad, so she can't like sell it or anything. She can't encapsulate it and offer it up here on the table. But somebody hired her to draw a Gengar, and it's looking really good. She's getting better, man. She's been drawing Pokemon cards for a little while now. This is great. If I win, I'm happy. If Jaded wins, I'm happy for them. It's amusing when I lose at this point. All right, here goes. Scaladirge. Oh, man, that's what got you last time. Garchomp losing by only 10 HP. Scaladirge is the strongest card in the deck. He beats Garchomp by 10 HP. Round 1, going to Mr. Jaded. Round 2, Articuno. Okay, Articuno's pretty beatable. Versus Tapu Lele, which is a loss by, once again, only 10 HP. Wow, why do these rounds always seem so interesting? Look at that. Wow, man. I don't know, Nicholas. I think your faith in the gods of RNG is being tested with these little gym breaks. All right, there goes Squirtle. Again, 2 Squirtles are gone. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. There you go. Very nice. Squirtle is on his way into a better life, maybe. Perhaps, mayhaps. It's crazy we were grading those Gyarados. You know those Gyarados weren't worth anything back then? Those Gyarados, I mean, they were treated like they were... maybe they were like $100 card back in the day, if they were a 10. And nobody really cared. It was just like a card you could obtain. Mr. NHCC says, I'll jump into the Raikou. All right, so he's going to just take a shot at the Raikou. All right, sounds good. So here's the problem with this trade break. People are just buying into the break, meaning that I could have just taken this card and placed it into the Poke Shuffles. Do you see? So this is the problem with this as a trade break. This could have just been a Poke Shuffle. All right, and people would have been just happy to see that in the Poke Shuffles. We're going to hit refresh over here. Mr. NHCC says, yup, I got 1 of 1. Nothing can bring me down. It just goes to show you, you never know what the future holds for any card, especially when it's a popular Pokemon. Yeah, exactly. I mean, everything jumped, obviously, but it's fascinating how now he's seen as, like, really old and desirable, and you got to pay a lot of money to obtain it, you know. Cornelio. Number 4. Here's Nicholas Pacheco. Hey, you're going in here, Nicholas. I'm going to do something a little selfish. I'm going to put Quip in here. Did you know she's a huge fan of Naruto? So we don't normally put Quip in anything, but I'm going to give her a chance to pull this pack for free. Sometimes I hand out a free spot. All right, she can't be here. She works all day long. All right, so she gets a spot. And Mr. Jaded, he's going to say 1 trade break entry. So it's not even being traded for. When a card is actually super hot, people just buy it. They say, I don't even need to trade for that. I can just buy in. Here you go. That's fascinating. That's now 3 out of 7. All right. Oh, that's so weird. That happened twice now. Is the capital CJ doing? I hope Quip wins. Have you ever looked into any of the graded banknotes? I've seen that they grade money and they grade old banknotes, which were like promises for gold and silver. It's super cool. All of that stuff is very cool. You know, in another life, maybe I would be running a gold silver channel. But I'm lucky to be running Pokemon because I think Pokemon outperformed gold and silver ultimately as a new thing. But you know, I've joked about this before. I've joked about wanting to set up a Cardconomist sports shop where it's like it's another YouTube channel, but we run it under our brand, and we have a sort of like a partner who runs that channel, and they live nearby or something, and I can coordinate with them and say, okay, here's some inventory. You know, like I can bankroll the inventory, but also I can work with you on understanding how do we do this better? How do you be a good salesman? How do you perform as a salesman? How do we keep the brand strong? How do we make proper content and all this other stuff, right? So I've thought about doing that for sports. I've thought about doing that for anything. And so you could have a card economist. It could be like a silver gold channel, maybe like the Gold Economist or something like that. It'd be really funny, right? And it could be like a network of channels that sell on the internet. But again, the problem is I don't really, you know, I'm also pretty satisfied not running those things. I guess if I got to that point, I'd feel like I'm some kind of CEO of a small business. But I guess I'm fine not being CEO of anything and just running our one Pokemon card shop and, you know, that being good enough. The breaks are fun because I don't know what to rip sometimes. Mister, I'm willing to take an opportunity like that. I'm very knowledgeable with sports. Actually, you know, every time I mention that idea with the sports, I get a lot of people responding positively to it, like they're interested in doing it. But I think to really do it, I'd have to know you, and you'd need to be out here. So that's the tough part, is you'd need to live out here. And I'm not making any friends out here, so I haven't met anybody out here who I'd like to do that with. But you'd need to live next to me so that we can actually go into each other's homes and I can see your setup and I can maintain a certain level of quality and control over it. A full remote, you're basically just franchising the brand at that point. You're just like buying the logo. And I don't think that that's going to be a strategy for success necessarily. I think that if you're allowed to do too much on your own, you'll make a serious mistake that actually hurts the brand. Or maybe I run into a bad apple, not you, but maybe I run into a bad apple and they're like cheating the customers and I have no way to monitor them. So yeah, I think it would have to be a situation where I'm right next to you. We'd split resources between ourselves more easily that way too, you know. What's up, Chad and Mister? Hey, what's up, Rain Brian? All right, guys, it is 1:30. That's a great time to wrap up the stream. We've handed out 5 spots on the Naruto pack giveaway. We're going to hand out more spots tonight. I hope you guys will join me there. No John situation. Well, the funny part is John actually did live out here, and it was still a bad situation. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot from that, and boy, it's nice when nothing's going wrong. I'll tell you that. When it's just me working by myself and nothing's going wrong, because I don't make any super stupid mistakes. Some I make mistakes, but you know, they're always in maybe good faith or something like that. But you know, problems like theft or begging or whatever potential problem could show up, all of those problems disappear if it's just me. Like I'm not gonna F around with my own brand. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hey, what's up, Javier? Sorry, man, we're wrapping up right now. We're almost at the 3-hour mark. We're wrapping up right now. I'll see you for the nighttime stream, the evening stream at 4:30. I'm gonna go hang out with Quip. I'm gonna go get some fresh air and freshen up and maybe eat a little lunch. So I'll be back in a couple of hours to say hi to all of you guys. See you later, everybody.